Oh, hello. Welcome to the stream. How's it going, everyone? How's it going? Thank you so much for being here. Yes, today our stream is going to be a Metify session. I'm going to stop doing that weird accent. Okay, so anyway, we're just going to click the wrong thing as usual. So hi, welcome to the stream. Thank you so much for being here. Hi, Naruto. Welcome, welcome. If you're watching on YouTube, hello and welcome from my room. As you can see, I'm going to close my closet door because it's very distracting. 1 second. Okay, thank God. Now, you would have thought that I remembered to make the bed, but I was just like, okay, you know what? I'm just going to throw my pillows up, and then I'm going to forget that I was trying to make the bed because I was busy doing something else and completely forgot. I was trying to get ready for this. I started to make the bed, and I'm like, what's that over there? You know what I mean? ADHD, yes. So anywho, so we have Pace today, and we are going to be doing a little VOD review, and then we're going to be playing just like our last session. Yeah, I had to close the closet door. I don't want to go back in there anytime soon. So yeah, so let me just go ahead and give them a call real fast. Hello, Pace, how's it going? Hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, cool. All right, I just wanted to make sure. How are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good. How about you?
Oh, I could complain. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm doing fine. I'm doing fine. Let me turn down this music here just a little bit more. So yeah, so I'm glad that, we're getting started today. I really appreciate your patience in delaying things. Some days I'm just not on the best foot when I wake up in the morning. I think I have enough time to get certain things done. And then before I know it, I've gotten like half of one thing I planned done, and it's already time for me to, to start. But that's just me. So I appreciate you working with me on that. So what I wanted to do today is I wanted to give you, I wanted to sort of flip the script. If you're comfortable in trusting me with that. Do you trust me?
Yes.
Okay, good. Good answer. Good answer. Because I would probably push you off the cliff regardless after you said that you did trust me. No, I'm just kidding. So, all right. So here's good. I just wanted you to feel that emptiness when you see that I betrayed your trust after I pushed you off the cliff. Anyway, so
Oh, I can't wait.
oh, can't wait. Yes. So what I thought would be really great is I went to a local yesterday. I got 3rd out of 48. I was pretty happy about that. But in losers finals, I played against a Greninja, and I have not practiced against a Greninja in a long time. So I thought, why not? Why don't I just go and try something new? So why don't I try to play Aegis game 1? That did not go well. I played Sephiroth game 2. That did not go well. And so I was like, well, okay, game 3, this is my last shot. I was already tilted, I will say, by then. And I, had a long endurance because I went 11-2 that day. So I mean, like, I had been playing for a long, I'd been playing for a long time because it was a round robin bracket to set seeding. So yeah, for pools. So I played a lot of matches, and I was kind of like, my endurance was pretty low at that time, which I think that a lot of us can experience. And that's, again, why it's so important for us to follow those fundamental rules, right? So what I wanted to do was I wanted to, here's what I want to do. I'm going to show you this real fast. So I thought it would be a good idea for us to go over, I thought it would be a good idea for us to go over my video. And instead of me stopping it, I want you to stop it whenever you see I'm breaking a fundamental rule, or whenever you see me make a mistake, and you see that, because a part of us, doing this VOD review is so I can help you identify, areas for improvement in your own gameplay. So I think it would be really beneficial for you to watch someone else's gameplay, and we can really go over this together. So I haven't watched this yet. I'm sure I'm going to be very embarrassed, but it's a part of it. So I know earlier you were saying You know, I'm sure that if we go over one of my videos, it's just going to be repeating the same habits. So coaching and playing are, in my opinion, two different skill sets. So all the stuff that I tell you definitely comes from personal experience. So I figured that would be a good idea for us to do today. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, that sounds fine.
Okay.
Can we do it?
Sure. So do you have your notes with you?
I left it at my office.
That's okay. That's okay. So what I'll have you do is go into the Discord thread that we're in right now, and I want you to write these out. You can just type them real fast. So the first and most important fundamental rule, in my opinion, is going to be to default back to center. So in everything that you do in the game, you want to make sure that you're defaulting back to center. So like, for example, if you like were to like ledge trap someone and you were to up air them, if you think they're going to jump over the phantom, if you up air, you need to drift back to center stage. That way, in case you miss or in case you do land it, you're still putting yourself back into the position that you need to be in. You know, if you were to up air in place and they get past you, now you're in the corner. So, you know, that makes sense, obviously. So we just have to default back to center. You know, another fundamental rule that we have to have for ourselves is to make sure that we are resetting neutral. So when we're in disadvantage, if we're in the corner, rather than like fighting back, we need to get back to a neutral state before we, you know, we can't necessarily skip advantage states, disadvantage states, neutral states. You have to go in order. So it's like we start in disadvantage. If we're in disadvantage, that is, we have to go back to neutral. We can't skip to advantage. Also, don't skip the ledge. I don't care what Do says. Hi, Do. Thank you so much for the tier 1 sub. Gosh, you've been subscribed to me for 16 months. Thank you so much, Do. You've been one of my biggest supporters, and I really, really appreciate you. Lift heavy objects with your back and use quick jerky motions. Oh my God, no. So let me go ahead and I'm going to share my screen with you here, and then I'm going to have this pulled up on the stream as well. So hopefully you can see this screen. And then let me get this switched over here. Dude, you're so funny. You don't want to be telling people that. You don't want to be telling people that. You can't share all the secrets, Dude. Dude's going to open their own Metafy and sell out and put me to shame. All right, let's see. So let's do share screen here. How are you doing, Do? Are you doing, Do? Are you doing well? Are you doing well? I hope you are. Okay. All right, so here we go. Yeah, you're right. Skipping the ledge is way too egregious of a lie. That's true. Not egregious. This guy I used to talk to used to love using that word, and now all I think is that he was egregious. That's probably why he loved using it. It was a projection. He was just egregious, the embodiment of being egregious. Okay, so we're gonna jump right in here, and anytime you want me to stop it, just say stop, or you can be like one of my favorite drag queens, like Juno Birch, and you can just say wait, pause. So you say whatever you feel like to stop me, and then, you know, I'll be able to go back and whatnot, because it's going to be a little weird since I'm controlling the video, but, you know, just we'll work through it together.
Gotcha.
Okay, so let me go back here. Exit theater mode. Okay.
Pause.
Wait, pause. Sorry, I'm so sorry. What? So say that again.
So, like go into the ledge, but on the other
Mm-hmm. Let me see.
like right here.
So technically, I would say that there are exceptions to the rule. However, I still don't think we should break them. So right here, because here's the idea. I'm glad that you pointed this out. So right here, you know, I was able to use up B to get away, frankly, you know, and I did this. So the fact is that he's very fast, and you can see that he's like right here. If I had gone to stage, or if I had gone to ledge, the reason that this is important is because, and this is something that I think a lot of us don't think about, and myself included, but it's really important. Going to the ledge may seem like a bad idea, but it allows you to reset the situation. And when I wish I could figure out, and I will eventually figure out a better way to explain this, but it's like, you know, like, let's say like, oh, I don't know. Let's say you're playing, okay, maybe this analogy will work. Let's say you were playing chess, okay? And let's say you were playing against an opponent, and an opponent is starting to like understand what moves you're making. And so they're starting to respond to what you were doing, and they start to take your pieces, right? Well, imagine if you were able to just pick that chessboard up and just fucking throw it, and just throw all the pieces off the board. And then you're just like, oops, sorry. And then you like are able to put the pieces right back where they were. And it's sort of allowing you to, in a sense, start over. This is what going to the ledge does. It seems like a bad idea because it can be hard for us to get off the ledge. And so we want to skip the ledge to sort of avoid that situation. But the good thing is that when you go to the ledge and they go into that ledge trapping moment, in a sense, it's allowing you to reset the situation as a whole. So even if like I get up from the ledge and I get hit, to me, it's still better, because if I like try to go right back into the fight and they're more prepared for it, then it's going to be an issue. So something that Tweak talks about, something that you can actually find a really good video on this from Pink Fresh. It's called refresh rate. Let me see if I can get this pulled up. I don't know if you've heard that terminology before. But refresh rate refers to about 6 seconds. Every second that goes on, it's the last 6 seconds that you are in the match. So like as time moves on, the last 6 seconds are always going to be continuing, right? Like, you know what I mean? Like the last, it's more so like, okay, if my opponent jumps near me and I'm shielding, and they do an empty land and they jump, in that little like 4 second exchange, I'm like, okay, they tried to mix me by doing a jump on there, jumping onto me and then full hopping, because they're trying to see like what I'm going to do out of shield. So I need to keep that in mind, but it's only going to be pertinent for the next 6 seconds, most likely, right? You have to keep that up and keep going. And that's what makes good players stand out over like other players, is that it's their ability to adapt in a constant state. So what I mean by going to the ledges is like, let's say you've been boxing, and let's say you're boxing your opponent and you're shitting on them, right? And so like you start to get like this feeling of like confidence. And so you start like really thinking that you can go in, right? And you can start messing up your opponent. The problem is that, and I'm sure this has happened to you before because it's happened to me, is that we sort of get this overconfidence and we underestimate our opponent's ability to sort of figure things out quickly. So the next time you go in and you try to like fight them, it's like, oh, okay, now they waited in shield this time, and now you Nehru's thinking that, you know, they were gonna like spot dodge and you're gonna catch their spot dodge, and this time they held shield. And so like now they grab you and they kill you, and you're like, fuck. If in that same situation you chose to either reset neutral, or like if you were in disadvantage, instead of landing on the stage and skipping the ledge and risking losing your double jump, because that's what you do when you double jump to get back on the ledge. If you're hit, now you don't have a double jump. You're going right back into that situation, and so it's keeping it fresh for them. It's the refresh. If you recognize that, oh, okay, my opponent is probably going to start to catch on, I'm just going to go to the ledge, and that way I'm taking the spotlight off of that situation that I was winning, because I don't want I don't want them to experience that situation over and over and over again, because eventually they're going to understand how to get out of it. So now I'm going to go to the ledge instead of skipping. So that way my opponent has to focus on something new. Does that make sense? Okay. So yeah, in this situation, it would have been better for me to just go to the ledge, because let's see what happens afterwards. Okay, so right there, like they were pretty prepared for me, because like if you look here earlier, when we start fighting, and I start getting damage here, I get this dash attack. And so like that's the, you know, the dash attack I just got. And so like we're keeping in mind like the last couple of 6 seconds here, whatever. So they hit me, and the last time that we were close together, like I went for dash attack. So they have center stage. So they're like, oh, okay, dash away. Now I'm going to punish you. So if I had gone to the ledge, that would have been longer. That same situation where we're both up close, it would have been less time, or sorry, it would have been more time in between that. So if I had gone to the ledge, then maybe I'd gone for the dash attack like afterwards, it's going to be more likely to work, because they're not as prepared for it, because more time has passed.
Right.
So, you know, that being, yeah, it's kind of like if you had a conversation with a friend, and you're talking to them every day, and it's like you're pretty much able to like finish their sentence, or like you're very familiar with like what's going on in their life, what they're talking about, but then like if you don't see them for like a day or a week, and then you like start talking about that same situation, you're not going to be as on top of it as you were. So that's, yeah. So I know that's a weird example, weird analogy, but I'm sure you can grasp what I'm saying here. So yeah, I definitely should have gone to the ledge. That was the rule that I broke, and I died for it. Like you can see here clearly, I get hit. I could have just gone to the ledge, and I could have just stalled, and that would have given me an option to condition my opponent to what I'm going to do on the ledge. It could have allowed me to be on the ledge and see what my opponent does if I wait on the ledge, and this would have been very good information to get 30 seconds into the game.
Right.
So right here, I air dodge, and they cover my air dodge. See, like, that's insane. Greninja, you can't afford to make those mistakes. Greninja dash attacked me, I air dodged so I didn't get hit, and he punished my air dodge with the dash attack, and then was able to get dash attack into up smash and killed me on small battlefield. So that was just terrible.
You're like putting yourself in the corner a lot.
Yep. Yeah, because I'm definitely scared, and he's very fast, but I shouldn't be putting myself in the corner. Right here, like, even though it's a shitty situation, like if you see how he dash attacked right here? When he dash attacks, and I was able, the reason I like dashed back and put myself in the corner here is because like it felt like he was going to come in, right? But I could have just full hopped here, and then like empty landed, and then possibly grabbed or rolled behind him to get back to center. Like I did not have to throw out a phantom here. And then after I threw out the phantom, he backed off, and I dashed back. So this would have been a perfect situation for once he, even though I did the phantom, once he shielded the phantom, I should have pressed in, because he got scared, he shielded. So I can take this opportunity to go in and possibly just shield. But I have to, you know, in this matchup, Zelda has to play to her strengths, which is really defensive. So like I'm making all of these aggressive choices. Right here, I could have just like landed on the platform, and then I could have dashed, like I could have jumped, double jumped back on the platform, landed on the platform, and then ran across and went to the other side or something, instead of charging Phantom again. So, so Naruto, I would prefer that you guys don't talk about like how to do mods and stuff like that, because I wouldn't want, you know, somebody to come through and see it and then like we get in trouble. So, you know, if you guys definitely want to like take that into your whispers, you want to whisper each other and talk about that, that's fine. But like, I don't want it to be on the stream. I would appreciate that. So yeah, like that was just right there. I mean, that was not only have I already died, but I'm like trying to constantly go at them. And so like you can't rush these things. Like Ven has always taught me, you know, and again, like I was getting frustrated, which is fine. You know, I'm already down 2 games. I'm kind of burnt out, but at this point, you know, I could have just got back up on stage, kept stage control. Now he's on stage before me. And then right here, you know, I could have done like an empty land into shield, and then he's able to just get a free grab. So I'm just being way too aggressive in this scenario. You're fine, you're fine. Yep. I was really, really bothered by that because I just was surprised that it even worked. Plus, I'm not going to lie, like the guy next to me is very, very buff, which was very, very distracting in its own right. I'm just not going to lie. No, that was just, you know, that was a little clever. I mean, like it's kind of risky, but it was a little clever just because, you know, he dodges that, and he was trying to keep himself in a available state to react to whatever the next thing I was going to do was, and so, you know, so that worked.
Right.
It was a little desperate, but it worked. I get so nervous when I have to fight someone handsome. That's what Phil just saying, at least, yeah. So like even right there, like do you see how like I like this was a shitty situation, but I was able to like stay in shield. Like the worst thing that's going to happen is I get grabbed.
Right.
So like I'm staying in shield here. He dashes back. I'm like, okay, whatever. He tried to shadow sneak there. I was able to clear that out. I will say this, when I'm missing these telecancels, I think that, and this would be good for, you know, anybody who's, you know, doing these telecancels. Like in my opinion, it would have been much better for me to just teleport cancel, and instead of trying to go for the dare, to just waveland back, because the threat of me going off stage would cause them to potentially just go to the ledge a little earlier or wait. And so right here, if I had wave landed and he dropped down like he did, I would have had a better shot at possibly running off and Nehrusing him. If I had wave landed. So that's definitely something I'm noticing here.
And it puts you in the situation he's back.
Right.
And on the
Right, and I don't want that. The thing is I was so intimidated by the character that I didn't really think about like my opponent's skill level. And the problem is that the higher on the tier list that your opponent that their character is, see, then I wave landed, and you can see how much better that is overall. I'm really trying hard to make my gameplay more focused on like if I do telecancels, I just wave land instead of like going really for anything else, because that way you can see how they act when you telecancel first. And like if you think about it, if you're introducing, like let's say on the first stock, like I get like a really cool telecancel into dare into bear and I kill them, I revealed that like way too early, right? Like that's like if we're talking about like our meta for telecancels, like we're revealing our trick way too soon. And so it would be good to use it more so for mobility and to like just sort of like threaten them with the movement and let them know that it's possible. So that's something that I'm kind of like thinking about myself. So right here, I could have turned around my up tilt So like I do the waveland, I get the Nehru's here. Right here when I land and I do this, I could have, out of this spot dodge, I should be buffering turnaround up tilt because I would hit him. But because I started it the wrong way, I didn't hit him. Because I would have won that. We would either have traded or I would have won.
Right.
Putting myself in the corner. Now I am at high percent. So now see, that's what really sucks right here. Because that's how I died. Is like I went for like a potential kill because I had rage, and all I needed to do here was up air. Yeah, on this stage I could potentially seeing that kill. Greninja's pretty light. And see, I could clearly, it's like I could have won this match. You see what I'm saying? Because like this is me losing 2 games in a row with 2 characters that I'm not very familiar with and getting frustrated. And then right here, it's like that I'm so focused on, it's like I'm focused on the wrong thing, because that's why we also have to simplify. I wouldn't say that's a fundamental rule, but that technically in a way it is, because like right here I'm doing too much. This was way too much, and this is also why I try to tell people never to like really use up B out of shield to try to kill, because you know, if you miss and they're beneath you, they can kill you. Now I use this in a completely different way, and so I completely lose that here. So yeah, I just think that that's really important to focus on, is simplifying our gameplay. So what I want to do now is I want to go ahead and get an arena set up with you.
Okay.
And I'm going to switch that over here. Stop sharing my screen. Go. This, that. Hi, Kioma. Hello. What's the opponent's Twitter, by the way? Cough, just interested, cough. I don't know their Twitter account. I'm sorry. Someone's a slut in the chat. What's their Twitter? Just curious. Just curious. No big deal. No big deal. All right. Not quick play. All right. So I am going to get you the... Because I think we're friends now on the Switch, right? Or no? Okay. That's what I was thinking. But hopefully what you were able to gather, even though like it was a short match, was when I break those rules, it may not seem apparent, but it's like I'm giving up the opportunity to survive for as long as I can. Because at the end of the day, like that is what the goal is to survive. And, you know, if I ever had a lead in those situations, that's when I didn't need to approach, you know, which is another fundamental rule. You know, if you have the lead, don't approach. Keep yourself available, use non-committal moves in neutral, you know, and I could have just like mixed between up tilt, down tilt, and shielding, and that's all I could have really done until I knocked him off stage. But I didn't opt to do that, and that's really what you should do. I don't know if you saw, but I think their name is Anarchy. They were Zelda. They got 17th at Shine.
Oh, you mean the
or the actuary? Sorry, I don't know what the fuck I said. Yeah, I get them. That's actually weird. They're very similarly named.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was very weird. So I was watching their set yesterday while I was at my tournament. I don't know if you happen to see their games, but they ended up having to fight a Greninja in winners. And, you know, unfortunately, the same thing can be said about them. There's certain situations that they were really trying to rush through. And I think that it would be good for you to view that set once it gets uploaded. But that being said, I've got the arena. Yeah, it's
the password.
It's 929.
I'll remember that eventually.
No, yeah, you're fine. That's why I have it as 929. Like I usually like would always have different passwords, and like my friend just used 929 a lot, and so it's like, okay, you know what? I'm just gonna stick with this.
Right. But I've been waiting for them.
Choose your fight.
Yeah.
Like some alt-tech.
Yes.
And also just really nice.
No, yeah, absolutely. I think Alltech is a lot more focused on like Nair setups. And I think that Alltech is just very, I think they're very on top of like where their Phantom placement needs to be set. So I might do that like after our session, because I'll have about 30 minutes before the next session starts. So I might actually take a look if they're uploaded. They might not be yet, but we'll take a look and see. So for those who are watching, I actually have some cool news. So I was able to receive, and Nawuto, you might want to know about this. So I had a friend get it for me, but this is something called RCM Loader. And basically what this thing does is it allows you put this into your Switch, and it allows you to boot the Switch with that particular firmware that's on it. And so anyway, I now have the ability to like put my own stuff on here, right? Oh, hello, whoop, whoop, whoop. Thank you so much for thank you so much for following. So I have a couple of different new Zelda skins, and I was hoping you guys could help me pick out one to use today. So I have the default. We have to keep the default for like guide reasons. If I ever make a guide on anything, like I'm gonna have to have the default skin. So we still have Aerith, but we have like basically like 6 new ones. So I have Casual Zelda. I have Star Guardian Zelda, which is my personal favorite. We have Skyloft Zelda, which looks really, really fucking cool. We have Wedding Zelda, which I think is gorgeous. She has a ponytail. We have Melee Zelda, of course, which is gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. We love her. And then we have Super Sexy Zelda, which is like some kind of beach mod. So those are the Zeldas that we have available. So if you guys could give me your opinion on what one to play or pace, I mean, you know, I don't know if you can see because you might have the stream open in a separate tab or not, but which Zelda skin do you think I should use?
Wedding Zelda.
Wedding Zelda? Okay. I will switch in between the games, so I will use Sailor Zelda. Yeah, so I will use Star Guardian Zelda next, and then I will use Melee Zelda. Everyone's saying a different Zelda skin. So I will just use Wedding Zelda for now, because that is what Pace has asked for. And so we're just going to, you know, we're just going to play, and then if I notice anything, I'm going to point it out as usual, and we'll go from there.
3, 2, 1, go!
Good dash back. Good. You see how I landed next to you and then did the up tilt? I'd like to see some of that from you as well. Like when you land next, yeah. It's just because like they think you're gonna hit their shield, and so they drop shield because their shield would either have been hit already or they're trying to get out of that scenario, that situation. Almost. Now, do you see how like you got scared, like because I was gonna punish you and that's why I dashed back, just to punish what you do afterwards. So it can be, that's another like thing where the fundamental rules come into play, is because if I'm constantly going back to center in most situations, you can find opportunities to punish. Good. I hate the Zelda Ditto. Yeah, I mean, the Zelda Ditto, I think that, like, in a way, the Zelda, yeah, the forward throw. In a way, it's actually really good for Zeldas because it's very revealing. Very nice reflect. It's very revealing on like how you would need to fight against Zelda, and so because of that, it can kind of prepare you for like how your opponents might potentially try to play against you, like even if they're not Zelda. Okay. Good. So do you see how I'm mixing the DI? I would just forward throw there or back throw just to get that Phantom set up. Right, exactly. Or, like, technically, you can down throw if, like, you take stage with it, right?
Mhm.
Good smash. Good. Okay. Yep. Almost. Good. Oop. I'd be a little cautious doing that. I know it works on Wi-Fi, but like it's definitely in my opinion, it's definitely not like a go-to just because you're putting yourself in the corner. So like if for some reason I were to able to get past that, then you'd be willingly putting yourself in the corner in advantage. It's a guess. It's like if I had rolled, you probably wouldn't have gotten a follow-up. And that's just on Wi-Fi. Good. So I'm trying to fight you back right now, and like it's not working out for me, so that's why I'm gonna go to the ledge, because like I don't wanna fight against you right now. Because you're winning that situation, so now I'm gonna try to stall and take as much time as possible, so that way I can't, that way I don't succumb and fall victim to like those traps. Now, I could have fought you there, but that was risky for me, so I put myself back here. Oh, I hit the Phantom. So, and right there, I was just keeping myself available because it wasn't more so that I was looking to punish you. It was more so that, like, I didn't want the situation to reverse itself, so that's why I tried my best not to choose an action. And so that it ended up paying off.
I like waiting.
Exactly, yeah. Right, because if we're eliminating the RPS in advantage, then that also applies, or you also want to apply the rule of keeping yourself available. Because if you're an advantage and you keep yourself available, you're more likely to be able to react to anything that happens. Whereas opposed to like if you're an advantage and you like set up a Phantom and then they get past you, it's like fuck. So.
Right.
That's why, like, with the refresh rate thing, it can be good sometimes to just not even go for Phantom at all until you knock them off stage, because that's going to throw people for a loop if you're constantly going for it.
One, go!
I know it's hard for us to, like, play without the Phantom sometimes, but, like... Good reflect. I think it's good option coverage for you right there as well. Good parry. I got the sour spot of Pharaohs there, that's why I didn't get that shield break. Okay. Keep yourself available. Keep yourself available. I know you want the kill, but just let it happen. Don't force it. Just let it happen. Like, react and let the kill happen when it happens. You know what I mean? Like, you can sit back here and throw Phantom at me and get me fucking frustrated, bitch. Like, that's what you need to do. Just throw that Phantom and shit and mix up how you're releasing it. And then, you know, get away from me. Like, you don't, you don't really, in this situation, because you're high percent, you do not want to, like, be wrong. So you have to commit to, like, keeping the stage here. And that's why, like, I'm staying in the corner right now, because I don't want to lose here. So do you see, like, because you caved, that's why, like, now... Yeah, so like that, I made sure not to cave before you, and so it's little tiny things like that, where like, if you're in the lead, keep yourself available, let the kill happen, you know? Okay. Good. Don't corner yourself. I know you want the kill, but you know, you need to be trying to get that Phantom set up and just be annoying. Like I want you to just commit to that. Like, stay away from me. Like the last time you did this, I killed you. So like, it's not gonna work again. Just get that Phantom set up and just try to play dashing behind it, because that way if I like get a little close here, like eventually if you play your cards right, either I'm not going to hit you and you're not going to hit me, but see, boom, exactly, you see how you got the situation, because like I thought I needed to mix up, and so that you didn't have to come over there and kill me at all. You stayed right where you needed to, you kept stage, and that's why we do that, because you have to be like content with, you know, eventually, maybe I will hit them. But if you don't hit them for even, you know, 10 seconds, you can't be like, oh, okay, well, I need to go in. Like, that must be why I'm not hitting them, because I'm not going in. And that's not how Zelda is supposed to really be played. But, like, you can see, like, when I fought that Greninja, how, like, if you stray from those rules, it can really, really fuck you. Jinx. Love these dashes from you. Love these dashes. You're keeping yourself available. You're waiting for a situation to react in. Great. Fantastic. But regardless, I'm glad that you were committing to that, because when you were just committing to like not committing, that is what we want the commitment to be at, because you got that kill just because you were throwing Din's Fire and I got scared, and so I released Din's Fire early and you clapped me for it. Now I know when you're playing against like faster characters, like it can seem like, you know, that you need to approach or something, but like Zelda really can't approach, you know, unless you have that Phantom. But the whole point is if Phantom isn't, oh, I gotta use a different skin. If Zelda is setting up Phantom, and you're always like watching what they do in regards to it, and you're always keeping yourself available. And you shy away from that play style where you are trying to combo into the Phantom, or you're trying to like go where the Phantom goes. You're going to be much better off, because that's why Ven has been so successful in what they do. They only really go in with the Phantom in ledge trapping situations when they're sure that their opponent, when they already know what their opponent's been doing, right? Like, okay, do they stay? Do they like to stay in the corner and shield it? Oh, okay, well, now I know that shielding it is an option. I'm going to keep that in mind. Oh, okay, the next time I charge Phantom, like, and I Inspire, they like jumped towards me. Okay, all right, so they do shield and then they do jump. All right, let's see what they do now. Okay, they went back to shield. Seems like they're not cycling through very many options. So now it might be a feasible time for me to charge Phantom and go in, because they're either going to do one of two things that they've revealed to me. You can't just charge the Phantom and just kind of go in thinking that like it's just going to necessarily work. Like, because I think that that does work for you, but I think that when you have an opponent who like really knows the counterplay, which is either to not approach Zelda, to let the Phantom go off, you have to be just as committed to play like a Game and Watch, in the sense that like you're gonna sit back. Like you said the other day, you were having so much fun playing Game and Watch, which is disgusting. But there's reasons for that, you know.
Right.
You know, somebody touches his shield, you just up B. And Zelda has to be played, like, in my opinion, really the same way, because your whole goal, again, is to frustrate me into coming towards you. And then once I come in and I come towards you, then you're going to start to throw up B if I land on your shield. If I don't land on your shield, then your only goal is to just get back to a situation where you can start Phantom again, because you want to wear them down. And if you keep going in with the Phantom, you're not wearing me down. You're possibly scaring me, but then like people start doing things like double roll, which is stupid, but people do double roll and it works against Zeldas all the time, because Zeldas are too focused on setting up into the Phantom or comboing with the Phantom. And it's like, girl, those combos and shit, it's really cool, but it's not as likely. Like, how often do you see Ven hit like down tilt Phantom fair? It's usually like once every so often. It's not like he does it every single game, every single stock. Hello, are you able to do a team battle, arena, and custom stages? So Whoop Whoop, I don't know if you see the title of the stream, but we're doing a Metafy session right now, so this is more so like a coaching session. So that's kind of what we're doing right here. Zelda's Hive Mind, exactly. Hi Sword, how are you? I haven't seen you in forever. Right now, so I'm gonna. Ooh, this is gonna be weird. We're both playing melee Zelda, in a sense, in a way. What's the most important rule for Zelda? Believe in yourself. I would say that. Believe in yourself. The most important rule for Zelda, really, though, is to just stay patient. See, now you have stage. I shouldn't have gone for that fair. Because now you have stage. Oh my god, she has the melee voice? I didn't realize that. Wow. That's really cool. Good grab. Oh my god, I am screaming right now. I'm sorry, I'm just kind of giddy. But it's like she's doing all the melee voice sounds. Yeah, like when she does teleport, she does that little ho thing. Oh my god, I just think it's so cute. And when she throws to Inspire, she's like, yeah! Instead of saying the yeah! Oh my god, I'm in heaven right now. Yes! Oh my god, that was so good. You just got out of the corner, didn't try to fight me, and then put out a non-committal option, reversed, so it was safe on shield. Good dashes. You're a high percent, but you didn't freeze in shield, because I was banking on that. Aiden's fire. I know it was probably not on purpose, but it was still good. It's still, but it's crazy. Like, that's one of those weird situations where, like, you literally are punishing someone from going to, like, for following those fundamental rules. Good, good. You didn't fast fall, so you got the auto cancel. You were able to set up Phantom afterwards. Yep. Like, if you aren't getting hit, you're winning, in my opinion. Like, right now, technically, you're behind, but you don't need to go for those so much, because, like, you don't want me to get on stage. You don't want me to get past you, and it's better for me to technically get on stage, but I don't go past you. Nice kick. Good. That was risky, but I went for it because I didn't know what you were gonna do. And if you had back thrown there, then you wouldn't have been in that scenario. Good, you got the Phantom cancel. That was good. Zelda is weird. I mean, but so are we. That's why we play her. I love this mod too, Zord. It's so cute. So in this matchup, fully charged Phantom is just really strong because, like, you know, if Zelda ever goes for if she ever goes for that reflect early, then you get that free punish. So yeah, that's why, like, you won't see me really, like, try to reflect the early ones, because, like, you can just as much punish me with them, but, like, you don't have as much range. So if I keep myself available, it's more likely that I can, like, get out of that situation instead of, like, trying to reflect it. And then, like, if you have it fully charged, I'm more likely to potentially go for reflect. Nice. Gotta play careful. You're at high percent. Yeah, I did jab and then just dash back up tilt. Weirdos playing weirdos. Perfect. Did you hear that? When this Zelda wins, when she charges the Phantom, you know how, like, Zelda charges Phantom with her snap and then, like, does her little pose? It plays the fucking secret sound, like when Zelda transforms. Where it's like, I'm like, I'm literally living right now. All right, okay, so I'm gonna play, let's see.
Choose your fighter.
Now, I know the Zelda Ditto sucks, but so what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna play a different character just to sort of see how you, I'll get to casual Zelda Felch, I promise. I'm gonna play Bayo because Bayo is a game, or is well, it's really a game. But it's a character you have to shield very much against. Oh, Zward, I'm having a fantastic day. I hope you are too. I just saw your message. So in this, shield is going to be a lot more prevalent in this matchup. And you'll have to be pretty careful of, like, your Phantom timings, because, you know, that's why Bayo, like, does pretty well in this matchup. Good. Oh, Din. Good. Yep, go to center. Charge the Phantom. Yep. Keep your center stage.
Is that all you've got?
Good. Now against Bayo, it can sometimes really be good to like be in this position and just like release earlier Phantoms, because like if I catch on to you doing fully charges more than once, excellent. That's precisely why we do it. And now you want to keep your lead. Bayo loses to shield here, so it's like if you just kind of, you know, now, I mean, I can grab you, of course, but Bayo technically loses to shield in these scenarios. So it's like I lose to shield, but I'm going to be looking for up close grab. So it's like if I get in close, that tells you can like jump out of shield to get away. Good, very good. Good. Excellent. Oh, I'm dead. Great job, great job. Good dash back, very good. Good, you defaulted back to center. That was great. You definitely don't ever want to like do Zelda Nair and pressure someone on the platform and shield and then like land next to them, because then you're vulnerable. So the fact that you backed off there was excellent. Good up tilt. Do you see how that covered my spot dodge? Very good. That was a mix-up. That's the only time you tried to skip ledge. Oh god, I killed myself. But that was my bad. But that was really, really good. You were keeping yourself available. You were playing a lot more patient. Whereas opposed to when you were fighting me as Zelda, I could tell. I wouldn't say you got frustrated, but I could tell that you were. It's like you're getting a little impatient. When you were fighting my Zelda, but it's like against Bayo, it's like it's almost like you had a more clear idea of what to do. But as I hate to say it, just because it sounds like annoying, but like when you play against those characters where it's like hard to get in, you have to opt to just accepting that. So the last thing we're going to do here is we're going to go back to some Avad real fast. I'm going to pull this up. Yesterday, I fought against a Simon.
Oh, dear Lord.
I fought against a Simon and I lost to them in winners because I was getting frustrated and I kept approaching them. And then in winners or in losers, I 3-0'd them because, you know, I was like, okay, what was I doing wrong? You know, like, okay, I was approaching. All right, well, I just have to be the one that commits to not approaching. And I did definitely approach. But what I want to show you is like, and I'm just going to run through them. And I just want you to sort of point out, we're not going to really stop the videos because I don't want to take up too much time, too much more of your time. But I know that I want to go over that. So let me pull that up and then I can show you what I'm thinking here. Let me get share screen pulled up here so y'all see. And then I'm going to share my screen with you. All right, let me find that set real fast. There it is. Oh, that's doubles. Okay, so it must be over here. Where on earth is it? I'm so sorry. I know it's here somewhere. What is it? I'm looking for my match against this Simon player. Because I ended up losing. It was pretty early on. I know where the second game is, or the second set is, but I'm not sure where the first one went.
Are you looking for?
Yeah, I'm looking for the winners one where I just ended up losing. Okay, well that makes sense. This has pools, so it's definitely not pools. Not sure if they ended up updating those or what, but it definitely wasn't pools. Okay, winners round 3. Oh, I think it was right after this. Yeah, there it is. Here it is. Let me skip to this last game. This is where I lost. And we're just gonna go through that real fast. Okay, I'm pretty sure I think it was I got 2-0'd here. But let's just watch it right here and see. They didn't upload the set count, yeah. So right there, I should have went back to center, clearly. Like once I even got that hit, like technically, because I'm in the lead here and I don't need to approach. Jesus, I didn't need to go back that far. But technically, I was in the lead, and so I didn't need to approach here. And so I think let's see, let me go forward a little bit. Like right now, my goal is not to fight him at all. Got stuck on the platform. My goal is not to fight. But because I keep trying to fight them, it's like you would look at this match and you would think that I would win this because of like the situation. Right here, I shouldn't have gone in. Like my whole goal is to jump back, set up this Phantom, but you can see the rule that I keep breaking is the fact that I keep trying to approach in the lead. Like if I'm in the, see right there, that was an aggressive option. Like I need to just punish what he's doing, and when like the situation presents itself, not like because I think that I need to go in or I think that I need to punish right here. Those situations will reveal themselves. This matchup is really annoying, Filch. It really is. Like, this is a matchup where technically Zelda has like the ability to, see like right there, I went for the shield break setup, and then because I went for it, like in advantage, like I don't know, I just really didn't need to go for it there. Because like he was able to get back.
Haven't grabbed the leg.
Exactly. Yeah, and that's because I'm like clearly like this is why those rules are so important. It's because like you have to remember them like even when you're pressured or when you're frustrated. For me, I get very frustrated. I'm quick to frustration just because of my ADHD. That's a part of me. And so something that happens to me a lot that makes it hard for me to be super consistent is that I constantly like break those fundamental rules. And that's why I like preach about them to, all my students, is because they are so important. If you do not follow them in every situation, then you're going to have you're going to have, yeah, by pineapple there and lost. So you can tell that like I was just so upset that I wasn't able to really comprehend what I needed to do. So let's watch through this real quick, then we'll watch one more game, and then we'll wrap up the session for today. So right here, just take stage, but see what I was doing? Like that technically, even though I got like this little combo here, like that technically wasn't like, it wasn't the right thing to do. I should have went back to center, set up the Phantom. It would have put me in a better situation overall. Died super early to that bullshit just because it's like I'm not in the right state of mind here because I'm getting so frustrated. Throwing out teleports, trying to fight, just getting punished immediately out of shield. not you see what I'm doing? Like I'm going putting myself in the corner, I'm like trying to fight them, like I'm keep going at them, and it's like this is the reason why I'm losing, is because like I'm so much more focused on like trying to play like this hand-to-hand combat game. Katie, have you played T3 Dom? He's scary, puts too much pressure on his style of play. I don't know if I played T3 Dom. That doesn't sound familiar. And I don't want to shade the player that like I'm playing against, but like, yeah, see, I was like I felt super hot for that because they, you know, whatever. But the player that I'm playing against, and this is the way that I see it, so I don't mean this to be rude, but they do not have as good fundamentals as I do. But the problem is because I am not sticking to those fundamental rules, and I'm getting frustrated in these situations. When I put myself on the ledge, that's where they start to really shine, and I get impatient. So this player that technically I think is lower in the skill pool than I am is able to beat me, and I'm really struggling here to beat them. And I think that in Ultimate, again, without trying to sound cocky, this is something that can really, really happen, is that you can play against somebody who's not as good as you, you know, but if you are not keeping yourself into those fundamental rules, that's how people like this are able to just start to floor you. And then now you have to play this catch-up game, and so you're already at a deficit, and it's so much harder to get out of situations like this. Right here, I'm starting to clean it up just a little bit more, little bit. Starting to stay in the, see how I'm like changing the way I'm playing? I'm staying in the corner. I'm not trying to really go in. I'm just like, okay, like I'm just gonna shield your shit. And see, there I got my 19%. It's much better for me to possibly mix them up with like hitting them with, you know, a different part of the Phantom Charge than possibly getting fucked in the ass because I'm just trying to go in and trying to fight. Screwed up the telecancel. Did down throw, didn't get a follow-up. Should have just back thrown or forward thrown and just taken stage. Air dodging into my opponent and then just rushing shit. So like that's, you know, was a very, very big fumble there on my end. So let's see how I approach things differently the second time that we play. Feeling a little bit more confident going into this. Setting up Phantom. You can see that like in this game, I'm starting to have these moments where like I will shield, and not necessarily because I'm scared to get hit. I might in that moment, but I stay in shield a little bit longer, and it allows me to like safely assess the situation and just sort of see what is happening, what's going on around me. Should have back thrown there. Easy kill. Keeping the pressure on. See, and like in this, I know like you didn't play against the Simon, but like in this type of matchup where there's so much going on that you really have to keep in mind, it's really important to see how like he's getting out, right? Oh, thank you so much for the sub on YouTube, Delph. I really appreciate that. Right there, I was just able to call out that jump. So like you can see clearly here, I'm starting to play a lot better just because I'm sticking more to this fundamental rule. By the way, for anyone that's watching and plays against Simon, here's a really nice tip. If Simon throws the holy water and you shield it, it pops up off your shield. So then you can just jump in there and you will catch it. And now,
Oh, that's cute.
yeah, so I'm gonna show, like, you can see like what I'm able to get off of this just because. So I would write that down just for knowledge of the matchup, because like the other benefit to us watching this is that you have matchup knowledge to go against. I missed the kick there, but it was still like I got 29% off of a throw, like, because I was able to pick that holy fire up. Jump nair and jump from ledge or axe are like really the only options that Simon has from the ledge. So right there, I skip ledge. And the reason that I'm skipping ledge here is just because when I get knocked off stage here and he throws his axe, you can see that he throws the holy water and then he throws the axe. So like this is a character, and this is first of all, this player, this is what I'm saying, like they're not keeping themselves available. So this is why these teleports are working, because they're constantly trying to throw shit to like trap me. But they're not paying attention to the fact that like they're on their last stock, they need to play careful, that sort of thing. So now that like I'm making these small little changes in my game plan, that's why I'm able to, restock this same player that I ended up losing to. So that's why I wanted to show you that, is because you can see, it may not seem like it on the surface, but you can, in my opinion, you can clearly see a difference between like the first game that I played against that Simon where I lost, and like this second game where it's like where it's like I'm more in more situations, I'm shielding, assessing the situation, I'm backing off, and I am like finding like moments where I'm like, okay, you know what, I'm not going to go in, and I'm going to go in when I know I can get a hit. Like, okay, he's throwing shit at the ledge, so I'm going to teleport in. But this time, like when I'm off stage, I just teleported into him the last time I was off stage, so I'm not going to do it this time. Little tiny situations, little tiny changes like that. So I hope today was good for you, because I wanted to just throw a little bit of a different perspective at you instead of like going over some of your older gameplay. I thought it might be beneficial to watch something like that's another player. And to see that like I make the same mistakes that you make, I make the same mistakes that everybody else makes. Everybody makes mistakes. It's just a matter of like our ability to assess our mistakes and find the little corrections. Because what's really nice is usually when you lose, like if it's a bad matchup, of course it can feel like you get steamrolled. But it's amazing how if you just ask yourself, was I following all of those rules? Did I follow all of those fundamental rules? You'll be able to see like, oh, okay, well, I skipped the ledge there. I died. Okay. Oh, okay, I cornered myself. Oh, okay, I had the lead and I started approaching. It's amazing how looking at those rules can really clean up what you need to do, and then you follow it, and then you 3-stock somebody. So.
No, it makes perfect sense. It's super helpful, like watching.
Good.
Seeing like, okay, point out. I watch my like occupy.
Or you're
So, like,
yeah, and I think we're hard on ourselves, because we want to be perfect, and I think that when you're looking at your own game plan, you're like, oh, you're thinking like, okay, like I up tilted, well, I could have up smashed. It's easy to think that way, or like, oh, I misinputted, and it's easy to like miss the whole point where it's like, okay, well, I could have just went back to center here. It's way more important to think in those aspects, those fundamental aspects. Oh, I should have just dashed back. Oh, I should have took stage. Oh, I should have just stayed in the corner here. Which I know it sounds bad, but like it's better for you to focus on those aspects much more than like what you did like with your attacks, right? Like it should be kind of a clear like, no reason to mention it like, oh, okay, well, I could have down smashed there or whatever. But like if I had dashed back, I wouldn't have put myself in an option to use a wrong move. So I'm glad that you're able, so I'm glad that you're able to see like from someone else's gameplay. So I think that I want to start incorporating that a little bit more, because we're still going to go over your gameplay, but I think it might be beneficial for us to like maybe start out and we go over like another player's gameplay, or even mine, or like, whatever, maybe like Niskino or like one of the top Zeldas, and then like we can come back to your gameplay, and then we'll just get you more into the groove of like pointing out your own mistakes, We'll still do it together, but I think that that would be most beneficial for you. Okay. All right, Pace, do you have any like questions or anything today before I let you go?
No, I think I got it going.
Okay.
It's been super helpful.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course. Absolutely. Absolutely. So I'll go ahead and let you go. And then I will go ahead and I got a link from someone. So now I should be able to just send you a link that you can click to just set up your next session. So I'll get that to you a little later. And yeah, so I hope you have a great rest of your day, and just keep practicing, and I'll see you next week, okay? Of course. You too. Bye, Pace.
Bye-bye.
Okay, guys. So I'm going to take a small little tiny break, and then I am going to be back in like 5 minutes, and then we're going to be starting a session with a new Metaphy student of mine named Chef. So I think we're going to be analyzing some of their gameplay and kind of pointing out some things, and so stay tuned, stick around, and I'll be right back. Hey everybody, thanks for waiting. Appreciate you. So I'm going to give my student chef a call and we're going to get started. 1 second. Just waiting for them to respond right now. God, I still can't get over that Zelda mod. Oh my God, it just makes me so fucking happy. I did not realize that the Zelda mod was going to come with like voice changes, because I figured that if you changed her voice, it was going to change the voice of like just the whole character, you know, for every skin. So the fact that like it has the melee Zelda sounds, just incredible. Just absolutely incredible. She looks really different compared to the other Zelda, like the original melee Zelda, but it's pretty good. It's a pretty good mod. Chef or chef? No, it's a chef, like a chef that like cooks. So chef is typing right now, so again, apologize for the wait. I'm just seeing what they're saying. Oh, okay, that took a minute. Okay, so I'm gonna give them a call, and then we're gonna get started. Just waiting here. Hello, chef.
How are you?
Hey, I'm good. How's it going? Oh, I love your little avatar. I didn't realize that it like moves when you talk. That's really cool. Yeah. All right, cool. Well, you know, I'm Katie. It's nice to meet you, chef. Now I know that thanks. I know that what's really crazy is I guess that you ended up playing against one of my other students in a Wi-Fi bracket.
Yeah. Yeah. And mention whatnot. I will watching my session.
Yeah.
So I actually really
Yeah, it was just weird, but I mean, it's a small world, so you know, I'm glad that you're able to see it. You're able to benefit from it. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to share my screen here with you, and we're just going to so I don't know if you're on your phone. It says that you're on a mobile device. So hopefully you're able to just go ahead and tune in, and you're able to watch here on Discord, and then we're just gonna, you know, go very in depth on this set. Okay.
absolutely.
I've got the
on my phone.
okay, cool. So I've got the set pulled up against let me switch it over here. So I've got the set pulled up against the Yoshi. And the reason I wanted to focus on the Yoshi instead of the Sonic is because Sonic is definitely a matchup that I personally feel is a very, very bad matchup for Zelda. And I think that we can go over it, but I don't think that you're going to get as much out of it that you would potentially against the Yoshi. Just because Sonic to me is more, it's a lot more cut and dry. It's Sonic is more along the lines of either you have to let Sonic act first, and you have to really be aware of like Sonic specifics to know how to operate in that matchup. Otherwise, he's just gonna maul all over you. And I think I saw from the thumbnail, again, I know it's the best player in your state, but I saw on the thumbnail, I think that like you got 3-stocked on Smashville or one of the games or something, which against Sonic, it's completely understandable. So what I'm more interested in is to see how you do against a character that isn't as fast, just because that's going to give me more information on your playstyle off of the bat. Okay. Okay, so we're just going to jump right in. What I like to do is I like to watch the match in full first and kind of just take some notes. and then we'll go through and we'll just go through afterwards, and we will go like in depth. So let's just go ahead and get started here. Okay, shut them up. I don't know who they are, but I don't care. I don't care what they have to say. Yeah, definitely. Again, you said that this is like the 5th best player in your state. Is that correct? Yeah. So I mean, like, they're going to be very, very aware of, their game plan. But I think that something that develops as we grow as players is like what our game plan is going to develop into. And sometimes when we're fighting against a character that we're a little unfamiliar with, or a character that feels like they're pressuring us and we can't really play our game plan as well, it feels very claustrophobic. It feels very difficult to make that adaptation. So unfortunately, sometimes we have to have like in the middle of a match, it can be really hard. That was good up B. It can be really hard to know what little things you need to change. And I think that you've probably seen this from my other videos, but something that we're going to really go in depth on is the fundamentals. And I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but from what I learned from Stubbs about you is that, and from what you basically told me, is that you feel a little bit more seasoned than some of the other Zeldas that you've seen. And I think that from what Stubbs told me, I haven't seen this yet myself, but from what Stubbs has told me is that you are you're somewhat proficient with telecancels, if I'm not mistaken. Like, there are some that you have, or maybe some stages that you're familiar with where you are comfortable doing them on. And I will say this from personal experience, that I was a player who really learned tech first. And my tech is what really carried me, I think, through the beginning of Ultimate. And it felt embarrassing for a while to like have to come to terms with that, because I like to think of myself as like, no, I'm a great player, like, I'm able to beat all these people, blah 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 blah. But like, the problem was, yeah, and you're cleaning it up here very well, this is very nice. I'm glad that you're not like super succumbing to pressure here.
I had to like really calm down already, so then when I'm getting the pressure, I kind of have to like.
Right. Yeah.
Like, well,
exactly. Yeah. And that's why like the fundamentals are so important, and we're gonna get into those, which is kind of like what my point was. Okay. Yeah. So that's a situation where you can roll. I'm sure you know that. You might have just gotten scared in that moment because you didn't want to get hit. But that's a situation where if you see Yoshi go up into the air like that, it's better for you to just roll, because let's say he jumped and you rolled past him and you didn't realize that he down B'd, but like you just jumped, or you just rolled anyway to get past him. If he were to hit you with an aerial, like you're not going to get your shield broke. You're most likely not going to die, and he's never going to hit you with the down B if you ever see him going up into the air and then you just roll past him. So that's definitely something that we want to keep in mind. But what I want to say is that the fundamental rules is the most important thing in this game, because they teach us how to play neutral. They teach us how to play in advantage. They teach us how to play in disadvantage. So I don't know. I don't think I asked you to do this, but something I would really like, and you might already have this. Do you happen to have anything to write with, or a piece of paper, or something that you can jot some notes down with?
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. So for sessions like this, we definitely want to make sure that we always have notes, and I prefer that you write notes down, just because studies show that it helps with memorization. You're more likely to retain and remember the information if you are to write it down.
Truly, I kind of have to be I don't, I will.
Exactly. Yeah. So like that's why I'm not a big fan of like typing out notes or like getting notes from another person because like that's just it's only going to be relevant to you like in that moment that you read it. You know, studies also show that you know, I don't know if you were when you were in school if you ever did or if you're still in school, if you ever had to do like definitions like from a chapter or something, but like when you had to do like 20 definitions, you're most likely only going to remember like the first 6 or 7, and then the rest of them are just going to like be completely foggy because that's how our brains work. So when I do these lessons with you, I don't want to throw too much at you at once because I want you to retain the information and get as much out of it out of each session you know as possible. So do you happen to have what you need to write with here?
I do.
Okay. So we're going to go ahead and go back here. We're going to start this match over. Filch is right. I do need to hydrate. And I do need to stretch. Okay. All right, let's get started. Okay, so right off the bat, I don't know if this is a misinput or not. So we drop down from the platform. We immediately get back onto the platform. I see that, you know, being okay is a little bit of a mix-up. And then you immediately sort of go in. So I understand this as being like, you know, a way to sort of potentially catch someone off guard. But if this is the beginning of the set, to me, your game plan is to look for an opening to set up your Phantom. And I know that may seem like a duh, but technically, in neutral, you want to stay as non-committal as possible. And so fair like this is a bit of a commitment. Now, you do get out of the situation because you roll, right? You roll out. So,
Sorry.
oh, okay. I'm not sure why that would have been. But here, let me go back and I'll state that over. So when we are in neutral here, in neutral, we want to make are you still hearing me? Okay. So when we're in neutral, we want to be as non-committal as possible. So the three, yeah, non-committal. So what non-committal means is that we don't want to use moves that have a high total amount of frames. And so if we think about Zelda, a lot of her moves are very laggy, right? You've got Nehru's, you've got Phantom, you've got Teleport, you've got Din. So all of our special moves are super laggy. All of them.
Right. For sure.
So all of our aerials, for the most part, are super laggy. And then, you know, we've got normals. So I'm sure you're familiar with ultimateframedata.com. Correct?
Honestly, concert, but kind of don't. No, it's like a lot, so I never.
Okay, well
my friends always are talking about the frame.
well we're gonna mess with it today. I just sent it to you in a message and I pinned it. So it's a pinned message, so you can always go into our thread, click pinned, and you should be able to always see you know, that resource there for you. So the reason so can you see the screen right now where it shows Zelda's hitboxes and stuff? Okay. So the reason that we want to look at this, at least for today, because again, I'm not going to throw everything at you at once. What we want to pay attention to is not the frame it starts on. It's not the frame it's negative or what frame it's active. None of that really. We want to pay attention to this. We want to pay attention to this number right here where it says total frames. So this, yeah, so this is going to teach you what moves of yours are the most committal and what are the most non-committal. So obviously, the lower the number, the less time it takes for you to begin and start that move, like from start to finish. Like, how long does it take me to perform this action? So we know down tilt, for example, is a very, very quick move, right? It doesn't last very long. So if we look at down tilt, we can see that it's 21 total frames. So in the fighting game, or in most games nowadays, there are 60 frames in a second. So what that means is that Zelda doing down tilt, if she does down tilt 3 times in a row perfectly, that would take 63 total frames, which means Zelda can put out 3 down tilts in basically a barely over a second. So
Right.
down tilt is a very good move to use in neutral because it's very low committal. It's active, and this is where we get into active frames. It's active for 7 frames. And here's how you read frame data. When you look at active to see how many frames your hitbox stays out, all you have to do is take the larger number and then subtract the smaller number and then add 1. So 11 minus 5 is 6, plus 1 is 7. So that means that this move is active for 7 frames from start to finish. Let's check this out just to verify. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it's active for 7 frames. So the reason that this is good is because it's active for 7 frames. It's considerably long, and it's only 21 total frames. So this is a very non-committal move because if you throw it out and you miss, it only took you 1/3 of a second to perform this action. So you still have 2/3 of a second left to input a dash back, input a jump, input another down tilt, input shield. So this is an option that you want to use a lot, even if it doesn't feel like it's easy to hit. You really want to use this move with Zelda because you want your opponent to possibly run into it because it stays out for a little bit. So you throw it out. If they run into it, great. You can set up a phantom or possibly get a kick, whatever. The moves that you want to be wary of are going to be the moves that are a little bit longer. So like down smash, for example, right? Down smash, for example, is 37 total frames. So this is where we start to get into that committal territory. Once it goes past 30 frames, we're in committal territory. So down smash, dash attack.
Oh, I'm sorry. What?
Past if it's I would say if it's 30 or more. So if it takes you half a second or longer, that's when your opponent is going to have an easier time reacting to what you do. Yeah. So dash attack here, 35 total frames. We like to use dash attack a lot sometimes because it's frame 6, it's very quick, and it's active for 12 minus 6 plus 1. So it's active for quite a bit. If we take a look here, we just break it down, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it's active for 7 frames as well, and she's moving with it. But the problem is that it's super negative on shield. So if they shield it, you're going to get punished. I know you know that. And it's 35 total frames, which means if you do that move, you're committed to it for a little bit. So it's just easy for your opponent to, understand what to do, because most people know that if Zelda does dash attack, they know that she's going to start in one spot and end in the other. They know that they can reliably shield it. So your burst range isn't really that scary, because if you think about it, every single move Zelda has, and you can write this down, every move Zelda has is unsafe on shield. Granted,
Okay.
Zelda does have turnaround up tilt, and if it's perfectly spaced, it is -3 or -4, -5 sometimes, which is really good. But
What does that mean? On shield.
okay, so this is what this means. So if you hit somebody's shield with this attack, right, if they shield it right here, there's something that gets applied called shield lag and shield stun. Shield lag is when you, the attacker, hit a shield. You're going to stop for a certain amount of frames because the game likes to show that you've hit somebody's shield, right? It does a little freeze frame, kind of like when Zelda lands a sweet spot fair, bear, or dare, and the game freezes for a second just to show you the impact of the move. It's more of a design choice than anything. But when you hit someone's shield, it stops for just a little bit because it's trying to tell you, okay, you've connected the attack. So you are going to be stuck for 6 frames. Your opponent is stuck for 6 frames. But the more important thing here is the fact that if I shield right here, right, I am stuck in 6 frames of shield stun because you've hit my shield. So I'm stuck in 6 frames of shield stun, which is what it shows right here. It's 11 frames if you land the sweet spot, and it's 6 frames if you land the sour spot. But regardless, here's the important part, because I know you have a follow-up question, but here's the important takeaway. If I shield right here, watch Zelda, right? I'm shielding 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I've suffered my shield lag. So now since I only have 6 frames of shield lag, now I can act. But watch Zelda.
Yeah, I'm just chilling.
You're chilling to get hit. Yeah, so that's why it's negative 18, is because that means that you are down 18 frames before you can do something else. So not only is it 35 total frames, right? So it's like if you don't miss it, your opponent has more time to react. Like if you didn't even hit them, it's still like a committal option that they can like have more time to react to and prepare for like what you're going to do next. But if you do hit their shield, you're negative 18. So that's why it's so important to really try to use as non-committal moves as possible, because if you hit somebody's shield, that's bad. So you don't want to be using very many moves that are committal and bad on shield. So the moves that you want to use in neutral are going to be down tilt, up tilt. Up tilt we want to use because up tilt is frame 7, so it's very fast. It starts up on frame 7, so it's very quick. The main thing is that it's active for 13 frames. This is a top 5 up tilt in this game. It's just on Zelda, and she's slow, but it's still a top 5 move. You could put this up tilt on any other character, and they would be better, unless it's a sword character, because they probably already have a really good disjointed up tilt. Like, if you put this up tilt on Bowser Jr., oh my god, that would be fucking cancer. So, literally, it'd be fucking, like, imagine if even Wolf had this up tilt. Like, it would be, you know, he gets his up tilt into his back air, you die, like, it's stupid. So, you can see this up tilt is very good because it's also disjointed, which means even though it overlaps with her hurt box, this part of the move, it doesn't touch her body. So, if you only hit them from here, you don't trade. So if someone throws out an attack, but you put your attack out and they land on top of it, they're most likely going to get hit instead of you. That's why like F tilt is like not as good as it seems. Because if we look at F tilt, on this website, you have to let the whole animation play through first before you can go frame by frame with back and forward. If you don't, then it screws up, which is, I'm just impatient. So right here, you can see how like Zelda's like throwing her tilt. But you can see her hurt box is this gray part. And so if you throw this out at somebody and they're like, let's say somebody fares at you, your hurt box is overlapping the hit box. So you're pretty vulnerable. Plus this move's only active for 2 freaking frames. So like it's hard to land this move. Plus it's 36 total frames. So dash attack, dash attack, F tilt, and down smash are the more committal choices before we get into the even more committal choices. So you only really want to commit when you have the opportunity to, and that's going to be when you are in advantage. It's when you can afford to make, you know, like you can afford to miss this move if you're in advantage, if your opponent's on the ledge, because like they still have to get up. So like this is not a move you want to throw out in neutral, because in neutral,
once that happens, they punish you.
Right.
Because they have some.
Correct.
And because I'm switching to my laptop.
That's totally fine. Okay. Yep, no problem. So we're just gonna get them pulled up real fast. Okay, cool. All right, let me share my screen here again with you.
Huh?
Hey, how's it going?
Fine.
Okay, cool. So I've got my screen here with you, so hopefully you can still see this. So yeah, so in neutral we want to use down tilt, up tilt, and then short hop nair.
Down tilt, short nair.
Yes, so short hop nair while rising auto cancels. So as long as you do not fast fall it, you will not have any end lag because the move will finish by the time you land. So because of this, it is a very, very good tactic for you to use short hop nair. So I'm going to pull up a YouTube video real fast, and I'm just going to show you an example of this. It's something that if you ever watch Ven's gameplay, which I'm sure if you're a Zelda player and you're interested in getting better, you've probably watched Ven play. I absolutely love her. I'm gonna pull up, let's see, I'm just gonna pull up one of my sets. I go to this set all the time. Just put in my old tag. So let's see here. So right here, right at the beginning, I'm fighting this Wario, and Wario this is like the third PR'd player at the time, which was in March of this year. And so what I do here, you can see that like the first thing I go for is up tilt, just to sort of like cover the area. And because I miss, like I go in with this dash attack. Now dash attack was a guess, it was a gamble. So you're gonna have opportunities where you're like, okay, I'm gonna take a stab at it. But for the most part, I don't really want to go for that very often. So right here at the very start of this game, I'm not playing the way that I need to be playing. I'm landing on their shield with like these attacks, and I just took all this percent for it, right? So I'm like, okay, I need to clean up my game plan. So neutral's been reset here. So watch what I go for. I get that short hop nair. When you land the short hop nair in neutral, you can fast fall it, because as soon as you land it, then you can start charging your Phantom. I noticed that he jumped here after I landed that short hop nair. So, and he's coming in, so I threw Phantom level 4. But I'm going to keep that information in mind for later. So what I'm going to do now, just to sort of give you an idea, is I retained that information, and we're going to start the next game here. Let's see, just so you can see how I play at the beginning. Let's see. Game is a little bit longer than I thought.
And you tend to drift your right, like
correct. Correct. So you can see here he's not happy. You can see here that when we start this game, so you can see that like how I change up. So this situation happened because I threw out this short hop nair and I don't fast fall it. So since I land, it auto cancels and I can throw out my other safe options, which is up tilt, right? So I'm in neutral, so I'm only using these moves because they're more non-committal. Now, the reason that short hop nair is like the final piece in this neutral puzzle is because you need to move in this game. And this move covers your movement. So while you're moving, you are throwing out a hitbox. And if you don't catch somebody with it, like you can see here that I missed, but what I'm doing is I'm achieving the fact that like I am able to get to the other side of the stage. Now, they're taking this opportunity to take center, which is okay. And then they're coming back in on me and I'm able to throw out another nair. Now, if I had just dropped down from the plat and started Phantom, none of this would have happened. So now that I've landed a hit, if you remember at the very beginning of the first game, I landed nair and then I started charging Phantom and they double jumped out of the hit stun for nair and I was able to get Phantom level 4, right? Because I know that they have that habit. You can see here that they're going to double jump after I hit them with this nair, and then they jump and I'm able to get multiple up airs out of this. So let me go back here just so you can see. See, so like I was able to use that information from he was getting mad and was trying to land into the second and third one, but regardless, I was able to see that habit. Okay, I nair you. Okay, you like to jump after the nair. That's what you do. Because you're going to have players that that like to do something after they get hit, or they do something when you put them in a certain situation. And so you can write this down. This is a good little tip. Goblin taught me this when I had a conversation with them. They said to me that usually the first defensive option that someone uses is the one they will use the most. Because if you think about it, it was their go-to choice. When I hit him with nair at the very beginning of the set, he immediately jumped right out of it. So I'm like, oh, okay. All right. So now that I've like safely opened my neutral and now I've landed a hit, now I know what to do when you get hit by that move. You don't want me to set up Phantom, so you're going to jump. So now I'm punishing you for it a lot harder than I did before. So this is why you want to play super safe and super non-committal in neutral, is because that way when you do land a hit, then you can start using your more committal options. I mean, I'm sure that makes sense to you. So if we go back to this, you going in with this fair, it's smart that you like landed off the platform with it. I think that that's a good thing, because since you're running off the platform, you're not vulnerable on the way up. Like if you were to try to jump and land on somebody with fair, you're vulnerable at the start of that while you're jumping. So it was good that you went for this in theory, but like the fact is that it's, to me, that's more of a mix-up. It's not really something you want to open neutral with, because now they're going to be a little bit more weary of that like situation. Like if you want them to like catch on to anything, it's fine for them to catch on to your non-committal choices. So, you know, if you're throwing out like your up tilts, your nairs, whatever, it's fine for them to catch on to stuff like that, because those moves are non-committal. But your fair, if we look at your frame data and we go to her aerials and we look at fair, it's got 15 frames of landing lag. So it may not seem like much, but since you did fair and then you did back roll, that was basically a full second. So like, and then you did the grab, the committal grab. So I'm going to tell you this right now. Put this to the side. Don't shield grab. Just don't shield grab with Zelda. Like ever. There will be times where someone does something super laggy on your shield and you know you can get a grab. Those are fine. But right here, you did not know. You guessed. And that's a problem. If you're going to guess in neutral, guess with your non-committal options. That way, if you guess wrong, you recover. But your grab, your standing grab, if we look at standing grab here, grab is 39 total frames, so it's past the point. So you're just kind of a sitting duck. And so now,
I'm gonna guess
right,
non-committal.
yes, use non-committal options in neutral. So that's going to be up tilt, turn around up tilt, down tilt, turn around down tilt, and short hop nair. So in reality, it seems like to me, it's 5 moves that you have access to because you can turn them around. Turn around up tilt is gross. It is super good if you land the back hit, of course. As you know, you get combos off of it, but it's also good to do like in a scenario like this, like you're in the corner right now. So if you up tilt right now, the first hit is not going to hit, right? Because like you're turned around. So you could buffer a turnaround up tilt out of your dash. So that way, if they were to dash in on you, you do this up tilt. And so right here, you do this forward smash, but forward smash is going to be slower. It's going to not be as safe on shield, and it's going to take more time. So up tilt, let's look at up tilt. Let's look at the total frames for up tilt. Let's see if it follows that rule of 30 frames or more. 29 total frames. So it's 1 frame underneath, meaning you can get out 2 of these in a second, meaning you can put 1 out and then half a second later, you can dash back if you need to. Zelda has a top 30 dash back in this game. Her dash acceleration is very, very quick. So that's what she's supposed to do. She's supposed to like weave like in and out. You play bait and punish. So like you bait people, you got to have a good dash. Based on her design alone, this is how she's supposed to be played. You play more with dashing. You play more with dash into up tilts, dash into shield, dash into down tilt, short hop nair, whatever. Just those 3 options in neutral. So let's watch and start to get through this a little bit. So right here, because you missed and you're feeling a little pressured, don't corner yourself. That's a fundamental rule, and you can write that down too. Is don't corner yourself. So right here, you're scared. In my opinion, it would have been better for you to like try to go in and get past him rather than fade back here and put yourself in the corner, because he did this up tilt. So if you, right, he did this up tilt. So it's like if you had, I think he was trying to like cover you landing on this platform, but if you had like faded in here, granted, he's using a non-committal option. He used his up tilt, and that's why and you can see here, this is why he's good. You see how after he did this up tilt, he went back to center. Because if you were up here, which you were, and if you had landed on this platform, he was covering that with his up tilt, and then he goes back to center in case he misses the up tilt and you happen to get back to center. So this is another fundamental role. Default to center. So you can see that clearly this Yoshi is doing this. He's playing with his dash here. He goes in for his option, but do you see how he pulls back? Because he's not going to give you the stage. He's not going to try to give you an opportunity to get past him. So he's jumping and he's doing his dare, and he could have tried to go towards you and hit you, but he pulls back. This is a better fundamental choice. To see how he avoided your potential grab, he'd have hit you anyway, but he'd rather have the stage, and he'd rather see what you do when you're pressured in this option and get information from you. He'd rather do that, and he knows he is better off rather than landing on you with that dare. Because if he had landed on you with that dare, he's not going to really get to see how you try to operate under pressure. So he goes back, he does the safer choice. I'm going to throw my projectile at you. How do you react? Okay, you jumped. Okay, so now I'm going to cover this platform, which makes you back off, and then he just goes back to center, completely avoiding whatever retaliation you did. So you're in neutral, so like this option has to get removed from your repertoire, and you have this habit already because it has worked for you in previous situations. For example, if the opponent like landed and dashed into you and you dash back F smash and you punish them, that taught your brain, oh, okay, this is something that will work. So that's why you do it. But when we get to the higher parts of competitive play, when we're playing at higher levels, you got to stay non-committal because you don't know everything, especially when you sit down to play a best of 3 against somebody and you're 6 seconds into the game and you're using a move that is 49 total frames. So F smash is 49 total frames, and it doesn't come out until frame 16, and it's -16 on shield. So it's not a safe move. It feels safe because if you space it fully, sometimes you can like throw out a down tilt or a down smash if they try to like retaliate or dash grab you or whatever afterwards. It gives you sort of like this illusion that it's safe, but it's really not. Like, it's definitely a read. Like, you use this to punish landings, so I think that's in a sense why you tried to do that. But we're in neutral, you're in the corner, so like you don't want to go for that type of stuff. Like, this would have been better if he was in the corner and he was coming towards you and you did dash back F smash because of the positional advantage that you have. Right here, yeah, so right here you jump out of the corner, and he calls you out for that. And then so right here, like, you get hit. And so in this situation, you need to go to the ledge. I know that sounds weird, but you need to go to the ledge. So right here, you start to drift away. Uh-huh.
I think I was telling you before I was watching the meta fights.
Yeah.
Like, to be honest, this only happened like.
Yeah, it's August 15th.
Some of the stuff you're saying, and like go to the ledge, using your. I learned, about more wasted resources. The more time you have at the ledge, like
yeah,
it's just learn that. So I have been like a lot more. The brief week of even just talking to you about the resources.
Yeah.
So I totally grasped. So that's something definitely lack.
Yeah. And I think that the important thing is that now that you're aware of it, it's going to be even more important to watch and point those scenarios out, because you can have that information and like you can still go into a game, but you will still, unfortunately, you'll still make those mistakes, but that's a part of it.
Autopilot.
Right. It's autopilot, and it's also just like habitual. It's like, okay, I've been in this scenario so many times, and more often than not, dashback F smash has worked out for me against the majority of players that I have played. So now I'm having the opportunity to play against better players who are not going to be as committal, or frankly as aggressive. And so now I need to point out these situations. Same thing with here going to the ledge. So you air dodge here, you skip the ledge. And so because you skip the ledge, you're like, oh fuck, I'm going to get punished. So you literally did air dodge into back roll. So you've done 2 committal options in a row, And so because of that, it's easy for him to catch you with this grab. Whereas opposed to you've gone to the ledge, now you have invincibility to possibly get off of the ledge to work with. It's also an opportunity to condition your opponent. You know, what do you think I'm going to do from the ledge? Like, you know, it's a way for you to get information. Okay, I'm on the ledge and I did neutral get up and he grabbed me. Oh, okay. All right, well, he was looking for that. So now I know that he likes to try to cover neutral get up. So now I need to be wary of using neutral get up. Maybe I use jump a little bit more in this matchup from the ledge. Right. So, and then right here, I don't care what anybody tells you. Write this down. Nehru's is not a disadvantage tool. I'm gonna be, it's my job to give you the truth. This is laziness. This is completely laziness on all of our parts. As me, like because there will be times where I will do this, and it's just because it's been the easy way out. And I honestly, at the same time, I think it's laziness at high level, but at like lower levels of gameplay, it is unfortunately a design flaw of Zelda, because people think she's easy to play, and it's like, oh, okay, opponent runs into me, Nehru's. And it like works for you online because they have less time to prepare for it. So then you go to a tournament and you start doing that, and it's like you're a sitting duck, and it's like it's like so polar opposite to how you need to be playing. When you do this, you're making yourself so much more vulnerable. And so I want to point this out as well, because I don't think I've pointed this out on stream yet. So let's take a look at Nehru's, right? So Nehru's is frame 4 intangibility, right? 4 to 13. So 13 minus 4 is not, yeah. So because of this is a little tricky, but the reason that this is important for you to know is because that means you're only invulnerable for 9 frames. Technically, you're not even invulnerable, you're intangible, which is slightly different. It's better than being invincible. But the point is that the reason that this works is because the hitbox comes out on frame 11. So frame 11, 12, and 13 is when the intangibility and the hitbox overlap. That's what makes this move kind of busted. But the problem is that it's 57 total frames. It's negative 25 on shield. It halts your momentum in the air. So if you miss this, it's like you're gonna get fucked in the ass. Like, this is a bad move to whiff. Now let's look at your other option. What other option could you have done here instead of Nehru's? If you're like, I need to dodge. Like, what could you have done instead?
Jumps are just touch.
Could you have jumped? Did you lose your double jump? I can't tell.
Oh no.
Okay, no, you touched the ground. You still have your double jump. So right here instead, because if you watch, he's following his fundamental rules. He throws you up, and do you see how he doesn't chase you? That's what he right, but where did he dash to? Centers. He's not even, yeah, he used the opportunity of his advantage to possibly reset neutral, which is it's super smart. It's something that people really don't think about, because again, I want you to write this down as well off to the side somewhere. I know your notes are going to be a little messy probably because of all the things I'm throwing at you, but we will find time to like clean them up and arrange them. So you can write this like in a little box somewhere, but I want you to put and give yourself space to have room above what I'm about to tell you to write down. So you're going to write down disadvantage, or you could just put DISADV, just add. Above it, put neutral. And then above that, put ADV or advantage. That is the order of the states. To me, it's very good to visualize it like this. So right here, when we are in disadvantage and we choose an option like this, that is an offensive option. It just looks like a defensive option. It feels like a defensive option, but it's actually an aggressive option because it's an attack. Right? It's an attack. Like, even if you counter somebody with like, right, Nehru's Love. So you're in disadvantage. And if you use an attack, out of disadvantage. You are trying to skip neutral. You can't do that. If you're in disadvantage, you have to work your way up from the bottom. So if you're in disadvantage, your only thought process should be, how do I reset neutral? Right here, you don't realize it, but when you got hit and you try to Nehru's him off of you, you're literally trying to go from disadvantage, you're skipping neutral, and you're trying to go straight to advantage, because if you had landed this hit, he's in disadvantage and you're not anymore. So now you're in advantage. That's what's enticing to you. That's why you try to do it. But this is not how you can play. You cannot play like this. It's the same, think about it the same way. It's like if Palutena was hit up in the air like this and she used counter. Or if I was Sephiroth and I got backed up in the air like this and I use my counter and they just dash back to center and wait. Because they have this option available to them of moving back to center, you cannot go for this. So you have to let go, and it's going to take a while, but you have to let go of that. Sometimes you just need to let yourself get smacked. Because I'm telling you, if you do this, you're relying on it. So I guarantee you, in this game or in this set, we're going to see more situations where you are going to throw out Nehru's because you're scared. So let's look at the other option here. Granted, this other option, you really don't want to throw out, and it's better for you to drift or to possibly jump, go to the ledge, whatever, but I want to just give you another option just by comparison. So we know Nehru's is 56 total frames, which is way over 30. You're also in disadvantage. So in disadvantage, you don't want to be committal because your opponent is in advantage. They can react to you. If you're in that's why it's so important to be non-committal and neutral. So if you're committal in disadvantage, that's like a double no-no. If our goal is to be non-committal in neutral, it is a huge mistake to be committal in disadvantage. That's like you're literally like breaking all the rules there. Does that make sense? Okay, so let's look.
I'm already at a disadvantage. Neutral. Why would I do
that? Yes. Hallelujah. Yes, absolutely. Welcome to the Church of Zelda. Exactly. That is what you're supposed to do. So let's look at another option that we could have done here. All right. And this is a very basic ass option, but I want to compare it. So we've seen, again, I'm just going to give you a refresher because I want this to be present in your mind. Neutral B is 57 total frames. That is a whole second. That's a whole second. And your hitbox is active from 11 to 26. That's pretty long. That's a pretty long move. So I can see it being attractive. But the problem is that it's super punishable. It's negative 25 on shield, meaning that if anybody shields it, they can do anything they want. They can up smash you out of shield. They can up you. They can grab you. As I don't know if you know this, but when you drop your shield in this game, it's an 11 frame animation. So that means that if you shield, or if I shield this attack, if you throw this attack out on me and I shield it, and you're negative 25, that gives me time to drop my shield and probably like smash attack you, right? I could shield this and dash up to you. Yeah.
11 frames. Basically take your hand off the shield.
Yeah, so like when you drop shield, your character has an animation where they like put their hands down to their side. And they also put out a parry. Yes. So the parry is, I don't know if you know this, but your parry window is active for 5 frames when you drop your shield, for the first 5 frames. So you're putting out a parry. But for the remaining 11 frame, or the remaining 6 frames, the total of 11 frames, you can't do anything. I will tell you this though, most people don't know this. The only thing that you actually can do out of that animation, if you drop your shield, and you can't like dash or anything, you can do one thing. You can jump. If you jump after you drop your shield, you can bypass that 11 frame animation. And what's really smart is you can drop shield, put a parry out, and then jump out of the parry. So even if you don't get the parry, you're still like potentially moving and you're not so much of a sitting duck. So you'll see a lot of good players, especially like Roy. Like Roy's will like jab and then they'll shield and they'll drop shield and then they'll like short hop back, fast fall. Like it's because they're doing a lot with just very little. They're throwing out an attack. They're immediately shielding as soon as possible. They're dropping shield just to put out a parry of that in that specific timing, and then they're jumping back out of that animation. So the reason that I'm pointing out so much about Nehru's though is because let's scroll down a little bit further here and let's look at Zelda's dodges. Thank you, Filch. I forgot. So let's take a look at Zelda's neutral air dodge. It is 56 total frames. So that means it's 1 frame less total frames than Nehru's is. Already better. It has 10, right. It has 10 frames of landing lag. That's it. 10 frames of lag. There's 60 frames in a second. When you land with this, you only suffer for 1/6 of a second. That's barely anything. Now, remember how I said that when you use Nehru's, you're intangible for 9 frames? When you neutral air dodge, you're intangible on frame 3, which is 1 frame faster than the intangibility you get from Nehru's, because Nehru's intangibility starts on frame 4. But you're intangible from frame 3 to frame 30. So 30 minus 3 is 27 plus 1. So that means that you're able to safely like have almost half a second, 28 frames, where you're intangible. And you only have 10 frames of lag. And you're not throwing out an attack that somebody can potentially hit you for. So if you watch the player Niskino, the Zelda player Niskino, posture check is just so I sit up straight. That's what that's for, Filch. So if you throw out an air dodge, granted, it's not going to be the best choice all the time. You usually only want a neutral air dodge when you are possibly going to die if you get hit. But it's a 50-50. If they, like this Yoshi, if they wait for it, then, you know, they can just punish you. But the other thing is that the air dodge, neutral air dodge, is not going to halt your momentum. So if you notice, when you use Nehru's, it kind of stops you for a second. And that just gives them easier, like, see, that's what, and he was able to punish you for it. So that's why it's bad. Going back to Sloth, that's why it was really good on him to use a non-committal choice, because he missed his first up tilt. He was potentially covering your air dodge, because if you had air dodged here, he would have hit you. But since you used Nehru's, you stalled yourself, so he just up tilts you again. He's able to cover both options. Zelda can do the exact same thing. Zelda can do up tilt in that same scenario. And that's what you need to be looking for when you are in advantage. When you're in disadvantage here, you eventually do it. I'm pretty sure you're like, fuck this, I'm out. And you were supposed to go to the ledge there. You made the right choice. You made the right choice when you got hit up here. You're like, okay, fuck it. I'm just going to I'm going to shoot myself off the stage. He couldn't reach you in this moment. And so right here, you should have just gone to the ledge. I know you know that already. But see, you see how he was like watching you and he sees that you roll. So he jumps and then he's like, okay, I'm just going to like, I'm going to B-turn. And so you can see that you were able to shield. So the up tilt was not the problem here, because you could have jumped after the up tilt. You could have jumped back to center. And if you had that rule for yourself to default back to center, you wouldn't have stayed here in the corner at 77% when you had the opportunity to go to center. You would not have stayed here and tried to fight him. And that's what you did. So what should you, after, let's say you didn't skip the ledge. Let's say you did that and you got back on. What should you have done here?
I'm on the ledge?
Nope. Let's say you went to the ledge, you got back up. You're here right now. Don't even look at the percents. Don't even look at the percents. You should get back to stage control.
I'm at night.
Yeah. But more
like hop to the left.
Yeah, full hop. You could do that, but that's committal. So, and technically you have positional. You have position, right? You have I wouldn't roll to the left now, because that's committal. It's over 30 frames. If we look at your roll, well, forward roll is 30 frames. Backward roll is 35. They also have different data. And if I don't know if you've looked at this, but your back roll, you're intangible on frame 5 to 16. So that's not very long. 16 minus 5 is 11 plus 1 is 12. So your back roll, you're only invulnerable for 12 frames. And then on the forward roll, 15 minus 4, 12 frames here too. That's why neutral air dodge is actually so good, because you're invulnerable for fucking 27 with only 10 frames of lag. So if you think about this, let's take 35 from 16. So what do you get when you take 35 from 16? So that's how many frames you're going to be vulnerable for if you were to back roll, that you can't act, that you can't perform something. So I get the idea, but it's better for you to dash, because Zelda's initial dash is super fast and it's only 15 frames from start to finish before you can do something else. So, or I think it's technically 14. Yeah, so right here, you just dash back. Zelda's initial dash is so quick that you most likely would have been able to get out of this situation. Now, technically, you could have also jumped here. I think jump would have been the safer option, because technically he's sticking out his tongue at you. But do you see how he's rearing back and you shield right here? Now, shield comes up on frame 2. We can shield on frame 1, but shield does not appear until frame 2, unless you are struck the same frame that you shield. Then it will show up on frame 1. But because of this, this tells me that you were probably grabbed like frame 3, 4, or 5, which means if you had initiated a dash back, that's why it is so good to throw out an up tilt and then dash away. Or you like, when you landed with your, when you, at the start, you like ran off and did fair, and then afterwards you rolled, it would have been better for you to just do fair and then just dash back. Dash back is so good with Zelda. Do not underestimate it. Do not underestimate it. Let's go back here and we'll take a look. Yeah, I got a little cheeky and I taunted. Whatever. Let's see right there. I could have dashed back after I finished the Phantom. He's mad. Whatever. Now, do you see I did the exact same thing? I doubled up too much. So I did the up tilt and then I dashed back. That was good. This was even fine, because I'm in advantage in this situation. And I'm also not directly in the corner like you were. I'm underneath this platform, and right here I can act. So you know what I should have done? Here I should have rolled, but they ran up and they shielded, because this would have been forward roll. This would have been only 30 frames. So this would have been okay to do, because I can't dash past a body, and I don't want to jump because I don't want someone to be underneath me. So right here, roll would have been fine, but because I doubled up and I used Nehru's, I got punished. Right, so that's why Nehru's, like right here, like this was me using it defensively, and that's why it didn't work, because they were ready for it. Like if he had jumped on me and I had used it, probably would have worked, but he was prepared for it. He was just run up, dash up, shield is really, really good. So let's try to see more scenarios where I use dash. So I use Nehru's on shield again. I'm gonna get punished. I'm not playing so hot right now. That was pretty bad. See, again, cornered myself. Not a smart choice. Missed my teleport cancel. Like I'm kind of throwing shit off left and right, but here's where I clean things up. This is actually like a really good play on my part. So right here, neutrals reset. I use displaced Phantom, throw out the kick. I think it's really, really good. I'm putting space in between my opponent. I'm using the least laggy version of Phantom, because it's 55 total frames from start to finish. Since Phantom is 67 frames, that means that I have about 13 frames of fake advantage. Because when they see you start the Phantom, they're like thinking, oh, okay, she's either gonna fully charge it so I can jump on her. So what does he do? He jumps. Because if I had committed to that Phantom, he'd have been able to smack me. So then I jump and I use Nehru's, or not Nehru's, sorry, I use my short hop, Nair. And then I'm able to cover myself with up tilt because he thought I was punishable. So now we're gonna wait for the dash here. See. Okay, so I mean, that was just me playing better advantage, but I'm just gonna go back here. Let's try to take a look. Okay, so right here, do you see how I'm using dash? This is exactly what I was trying to find. So right here, I go to the platform, and then like instead of like immediately running off or like cornering myself and charging Phantom, I dash forward, and then I dash back, and then I dash forward again. I run off and dare, I miss the dare, and then I dash back, and then that's when I get my up tilt. So this is the whole bait and punish game. It's just like using that dash, it's super, super good. That's how, you can clearly see how quick that is. Like he completely thought I was vulnerable. She just shoots herself out of there. That's based off of her design. So right here, when you did this up tilt, you could have done the exact same thing. Up tilt, dash back. Oh, so right here, we grab the ledge and we immediately get up. So as soon as we get up, we roll. So you can see that this Yoshi, watch what he does. He sees you grab the ledge. He moves forward. He does a short hop, but he chooses to go back a little bit, and he doesn't do anything. Because if you do neutral get up here, and he doesn't do anything, he's not missing out. He's still technically going to be in the lead because he's in front of you, and he has a % lead right now. But because you chose an action immediately after doing another action, you made yourself vulnerable. You did forward roll, which was not really committal. It was 30 frames, but now it's committal because you did committal option. You're on the ledge, and instead of waiting on the ledge, which is what I would have personally recommended here, you roll, and so he's able to just react to it. So right here, you're skipping the ledge. You should have died there. I'm just going to be honest. Right here, we jump back and charge Phantom. We just didn't get far away enough. So in this matchup against Yoshi, like, you're in neutral right here. So in my honest opinion, right here, your neutral's reset. You just finished Inspire. He's up close. So now you're playing footsies. So now you need to be a little bit more prepared of like, is he going to run up and try to hit me? So let's see what he does. He immediately retreats. He's like, I'm just going to get out of here. I'm not going to commit. You immediately go for a grab. And then after you miss the grab and neutral's reset, you jump back, charge Phantom. But since he's able to just jump over your range, he's able to get past your Phantom by the time you finish it and hit you. So that's why in this matchup in particular is a good example of like why you don't want to use Phantom in neutral. Because Yoshi can close the distance on reaction in neutral. You're both in neutral here. This is neutral. Both of you are actionable. And technically he's in a bad spot. He's in the corner. So if you just dashed back here and like dashed forward back in and then like did an up tilt, you potentially could have covered him. Now, even though he went past it, if you did dash back, dash back in, up tilt, and he did this shit, you'd be fine. You're still actionable. So now it's like, now he's in an action. So now I can jump back, charge Phantom because he's already doing something. So that's why in neutral, you don't want to rely on the Phantom. It's just so, again, it's another design flaw. It's because Phantom can play neutral for you and it can frustrate players, and people who get frustrated are easier to beat because as emotions rise, cognitive ability goes down. That's a fact. The more frustrated you get, the less likely you are to think things through.
That's what Zella's got to do. We got to piss you off.
Yeah, literally, that is our job. And you can't piss people off if you don't take your time. Like, if you want to make somebody mad, grab a stick and poke them, right? You poke them once, whatever, right? You just poke them. And then like, you know, maybe 30 minutes later, you go up behind them and poke them again. It's like if you were in school and like somebody's sitting in front of you and you like poke them, and then like you wait like a minute and you poke them again. And then like you wait like 2 weeks later and then you start poking them again. Like, you're wearing them down over time. By the end of the semester, they're either going to kill themselves or they're going to ask to go to a different school or something like that. Cause like you're driving them insane, like, you know, whatever. That's how you have to play matchups like this. You're a defensive character and you cannot rush this shit. You want to take your time at the ledge. You would not believe the PR players that I have beaten because I die and then they have arson and I sit on the angel plat. I just sit on it. I don't even, when I die, I sit on the angel plat, and I'm not even kidding. He's just like, he gets so upset. And so I'm like, okay, well, if that's going to make you upset while we're playing, then I am always going to do it. I will always do that to you because it's on you to figure that shit out, to calm your ass down when somebody is trying to time you out because because I'm playing the game just as much as you have arson. I don't want to deal with that shit. So like if I'm fighting fucking Joker and he has arson and he knocks me off stage, I spam Nehru's all the way down, and then I just double jump and then go right underneath the ledge, and I'll grab the ledge that way because I'm wasting so much of their time. There's no reason, honestly, not to do this against most people, because unless they're able to really reliably like min, like possibly like just gimp you for doing something like that, you're wearing them down, you're wasting time. If you're in the lead and you don't need to approach and you get knocked off stage and you're still in the lead, take your fucking time. Wear down the clock. You should always be prepared to possibly time somebody out. Always. You got 6 minutes, take your time. That's a fundamental rule to write down.
I've gotten better at do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've definitely. A lot of times, like you're saying, you play these really. Had more parts.
Okay, so hi, hello. Where? I'm sorry. Where has she been? Who is she? Who is this? Hello. Who is this? Okay, Nehru's into walk. I'm drooling. I am drooling at this play. Into walk. God, you queen. This was gorgeous. You're at 140%. You landed a move and he's at low percent. You could have rushed back in. And cause see, if you had dash attacked right after that, Nehru's, he was ready for it. He shielded. But because you literally implemented this little bitchy walk, boom. That's how you trip people up. You take your time. So this is not what the typical Zelda on Elite Smash is going to do after they land a Nehru's. They're going to start Phantom, or they're going to like go right in. You barely waited a little bit. You were a little bit cautious. This is what shows me that you are further along than some other people when it comes to like playing a game like this. You understand when you string, like you're at 140%, you're like, shit, I need to like, it's go time. And that's literally what you start doing. It's just unfortunate that you're at a point where, and I understand this because I have very good comebacks myself. We have to get to a point where we're always playing like this. You need to pretend that you're at 140 fucking percent as soon as you start the game. 100%. You need, like, well, I don't want to say 100%, 140%, but like you want to make sure that if you get hit, it's over. That's how you need to be playing all the time. Because right here, that's how you play. Right here, you could have went in, you could have thrown dinge, you could have whatever. You tried to waveland on the plat, but it's whatever. You still set up your Phantom. You're assessing the situation. You get in. Now, you could have tried to throw an attack here, but you crossed him up, which is what the same thing technically short hop nair would accomplish, right? Like you could short hop nair, it auto cancels. If you miss whatever, you're on the other side, you're moving. This is what you should be doing. Now you back roll, which I don't really agree with, but like I don't really have much of a problem with it because you didn't get punished. So right here, you faked like landing on the plat. Very good. You're dashing, you're short, you're doing empty hops. Like you cleaned up your gameplay here so much. You dash back in, short hop nair, set up the Phantom, waveland, up air, up tilt, jump. Like, girl, like, play like this from the start. This is good. This is how you need to be playing, and I know you know that because you started to clean up this whole game. This is how you should have been from the start. We're a minute in. If you had started off like this from the beginning, you would have had a much better shot at winning this. You did exactly what you're supposed to do there. You set up Phantom after you get the nair. But here's the thing. You have rage. So this is me being nitpicky. You have rage, so it sends him farther than normal. So I would have short hopped forward and charged his Phantom. That way you're taking a little bit more stage, because right here your Phantom is useless. He's completely out of range. It's not going to hit him. Now, it's good in a sense because he's trying to go in, and you can take this what you should do instead of like jumping to this platform, take stage. You've got the Phantom set up. You might think, oh, I need to like
Right.
Huh?
I was gonna say like follow fan.
Yeah.
Fan.
Yeah, but you stay behind the Phantom. Stay like right here.
Right.
So like take stage, but don't take too much stage. So something Niskino, which is a fantastic Zelda player, what they do is they'll throw out Phantom, and their full chart, whenever they do fully charged Phantom, their mix-up is, okay, I've got Phantom fully charged. Am I going to dash here and I'm going to just dash right here until it's over, and then I jump back, charge Phantom again? Or am I going to go past it? That's the mix-up that you have when you have fully charged Phantom. When you do this stuff, you're not like utilizing the Phantom the way you could be. So I want you to see that. And so what I want to do is I want to pull up Niskino real fast. I'm going to pull up against their set versus Mr. E, because I don't know if you saw, but they beat Mr. E twice in winners and in grands. Fucking insane. So we're just going to pull this up real fast, and I'm just going to try to find a little gameplay, and I'm going to try to point that out. So right here, they go past the Phantom. They set up Phantom the wrong way. That's okay. They're throwing out down tilt dashes. You see, they rolled back into the corner just because they were a little scared. They threw the Phantom as their mix-up. They set up the Phantom. They defaulted back to neutral after they missed the dare. They dashed back. They still got hit, but it's still fundamentally correct. They throw out a down tilt. They whiff, but they're doing the most non-committal option they can choose. Up tilt into the roll to get back to center. Barely got that combo. That was not good. They shouldn't have done that. Excellent parry. Let's see if I can get the next game. Because I just want to point out this very specific choice they have to make here. Okay. Yeah. Shut up. Sorry, I'm rude. Anyway. All right, can we go into the match, please? Okay. All right, so up tilt into down throw into fair. Very good. Okay, they got punished there. That's a call out. Let's see how they do this time. They threw the Phantom again. Dash back, dash in, dash attack. See, that was honestly kind of cute. Even though they get punished afterwards, they do this dare. And then, like, they could have done bear, they could have done, like, another dare, they could have done Nehru's, they could have whatever. But instead, they air dodge. And see, right here, you could have done Nehru's. But see, they do air dodge, so they're completely intangible all the way to the ground. And they're already out of lag. So, like, they got punished by the down tilt here. But the point is that scenario worked. So that's why I want you to see, like, instead of using Nehru's where you did when the opponent's above you, you can just do like a neutral air dodge. It's even better if you buffer fast fall air dodge, which is something that Niskino will do a lot. And I will point that out when it happens. See, trying to play safe, trying to use shield, trying to assess the situation. They're using a lot of dare. They're trying to play, aggro back and force their way. Got a nice little grab there. Used down throw to take center stage. They did not, they're at high percent. They did not try to chase them off stage. I love that. They get another grab. Set their Phantom a little close. They're trying to set up that parry situation. They missed it. See right here, they would rather take stage and let their opponent get back on stage rather than like try to hit them and ledge trap them and miss. Right. Staying in shield, rolling out of the situation. They died there, but that was actually something cute. So I don't know if I haven't gone over this with you. And this is something that we'll get more so into next time, what your ledge options are going to be, because I know sometimes it can feel pretty hard to get off of the ledge. But watch how they jump from the ledge, they fair, they drift back, fast fall, they double jump, and then they dare. So like that's a very, very good mix. That's not something that you would think to typically do, most likely. Because right here, they got greedy. And they should have dashed back and they died for it. But they had an educated guess. Mr. E was at high percent. They thought he might shield, which I don't blame them for. It was very, very good. Niskino also uses Nair very, very well, which we'll get into that another time. Because I just don't want to throw too much at you. I've already been throwing a lot at you, but it is important. Okay, right there. Do you see that fastball air dodge? Watch. Watch again.
Okay, fast then.
Correct. Yes. This is Ven and I have joked about this. We've literally said that if we just started doing this, we would be the best Zeldas, like, period, unarguably. So, like, you buffer the fastball. That's why he's double jumping here. I think he gets hit. Yeah, he gets hit. And so, like, right here, you could, like, right here in this situation, you would probably air dodge, or you would probably Nehru's. But what he's doing, he's double jumping to, like, you know, bait the possible follow-up. And then right here, he's drifting back in. Right here, you can see that he's buffering the spot dodge. Or sorry, he's buffering the fastball. And then right here, he does the air dodge. So fastball air dodge is like universally good. It is like a fundamental aspect that all characters should utilize, but we just don't think about it. Again, design flaw, because Nehru's fixes everything. In reality, at high level, it fixes nothing. 10 frames of lag, able to jump back, start that Phantom. I'm going to show you that one more time because I want you to retain it. Let's watch the situation. They're going to get hit up into the air by the up B. They double jump, fastball, air dodge. Jump back, charge Phantom. Phantom set up now. They're kind of going in a little ham, taking a lot of damage. They get that up tilt into Nair. They set up their Phantom after Nair. Playing very, very aggro. But they're confident. They are playing pretty confidently. Notice how they released Din's Fire there early. They didn't try to hit them with it. They released it early because they're just trying to catch the air dodge. If you can get them to air dodge early, since Din's is active for 6 frames, Din's is designed to force an air dodge. It is not designed to actually hit them. That gives you time to set up Phantom, because you want Phantom to be finished when they grab the ledge. Both in shield here. I guess Mr. E is probably not the best example of what I was originally trying to show you, which is how Niskino will shuffle between hiding behind the Phantom. But let me find another game real quick. we're not gonna be on here for too much longer because I know I'm already sort of going over, which again is something with me. I will go over the time a lot, but I will never charge for going over the session just because, like, it's how I teach. You know, sometimes have you ever had a class? Yeah, if you've ever had a class with the teacher and they, like, you know, keep you for a little bit longer than you should be, it's just sometimes you get into it. So let's see. Let's see Young Link. Let's just start this right at the very beginning. Okay, they're taking some damage. All right, get out of the situation with the dash attack. They're off stage. Grabbing the ledge, jumping from ledge. Kind of getting fucked up right now. Let's see how they get out of it. The reason that I wanted to point out to you, like, the options that you should be looking for in neutral is because that's like usually the best place to start. That was an amazing pivot grab. But it's usually the best way to start because when you watch other people's gameplay, you can see when they get away with shit that they shouldn't. And that way, when you're watching people play, if you see them do something that is, like, not fundamentally agreeable, it'll help you not make that same mistake to, like, be like, oh, okay, they did this, let me do it. Like, no, they just got away with it. That doesn't mean you should mimic it. So right here, let's see how they get out of this situation. So they get hit up into the air. What do they tend to do? Double jump, buffer the fast fall, air dodge. It's godlike. It's just godlike. It's so good. Got the kick, so now they've reversed the situation. Yeah. So, like, when you get, so, right, you can write this down. So it's like when you get hit, right, and you're in the air, you double jump, buffer the fast fall first, and then once you visually confirm that you have buffered the fast fall, you can air dodge. Because the air dodge is going to start on frame 3, and you're going to be invulnerable all the way down, or intangible all the way down, and you're only going to have 10 frames of landing lag. So don't rush it, because if you rush it, you're going to directional air dodge, and then you're going to get fucked. because directional air dodge is terrible. It should only be really ever be used, in my opinion, to wave land, wave dash, potentially, or like throw yourself off stage, which is what you did before. So I know that I've seen this set before, so I know that Niskino will start to do this, but Niskino will set up Phantom, and if they're in advantage, they will stay behind it right here, like how they stayed behind that Phantom and they threw that forward right here. They're staying behind the Phantom. You can clearly see that they are sitting behind it. This is very good because it gives you a mix-up. You're conditioning your opponent. You're like, okay, every time I fully charge the Phantom or I throw it, I never go past it. So you start to play at that range, that expected range where I'm going to be in. And then it's when you are confident and you feel like you can mix them up at that point, that once you get that Phantom going, then you see they missed, but they threw the F smash through the Phantom. They were in the Phantom, but they threw the F smash through it. So because of that, it's giving them that mix up. Okay, let's see what they do. They go past the Phantom again. Staying behind the Phantom. Release the Phantom. Set it up. Yeah, they just got dicked. Okay. Went past the Phantom actually that time. And see, like, you can see that nair that they did just there, like when they finished the Phantom and then they did nair, that was sort of like the first time that they were really trying to like work in tandem with the Phantom. So let's go back to your gameplay with keeping those things in mind. Okay, so we set up Phantom here. Good. Yes, fantastic. You called out their jump trying to get over it. All right, so you did double jump and you charged the Phantom there. The up B definitely caught them off guard because you hadn't gone for that yet. You're 1 minute and 30 seconds into the match. Got a dare out. Okay. So yeah, so I've talked about this before. You have advantage when you got this grab. Just throw him forward, throw him off stage. Take stage, get stage control. You can start, the whole point is, I think down throw is like an illusion, because we down throw and it's like we can get fair or bear. Like you see Ven, you see Ven and Mysterica, like, and I guess even me sometimes, like you see like, or in Niskino, like a lot of like the higher level Zeldas, like you'll see like them do down throw into bear, down throw into fair, down throw into nair, whatever. Just forward throw or back throw. You get a free Phantom out of it. So right here, yeah, like down, to me, down throw is like that confidence moment where you have advantage and you're like, but your back is to the ledge. You're like right here and you down throw them. And I don't have it pulled up right now, but it's that moment where like you are confident in your ability to, I think it was the second stock here. And he's playing on his last stock for a while. So right here, I'm up a stock. I'm just going to sit in the corner. I'm not approaching. I have the lead. I don't need to approach. He thought I was going to try to jump out of the corner. So this is the situation where you, if you get a grab, you can use down throw because your back is to the corner. And I killed him at 45%. Like, that was fucking nuts. It's just because he DI'd in and I called that out. So if if you cover DI in and they drifted out, whatever, you still have stage. Oh well, I'll just go back to like my center. Huh, whatever. Yeah, exactly, because if I miss the time they want to go. Correct. Absolutely. Very good. I'm liking this. Okay, that was all great. Too close. too close to the ledge. Everything was great here. Get into your spot. Your spot is right where you are here, just slightly before it. You need to sit here. Zelda, because she has the Phantom, she doesn't really have to ever feel like she needs to cover up close options. You can if you're confident, but you don't have to, because that's what Phantom does. So if you put yourself here, you're safer. And what's nice is if you finish a Phantom and they like if they ever roll before the Phantom starts, so they can like possibly mix you up, if you down tilt, it will pop them straight into the Phantom anyway. So you always have that going for you. It's something that there's a Zelda player named Waldo that's from Vegas. They're third PR there. Ven is first. They're third. There's 2 PR Zeldas in Vegas. Feel sorry for that region. If you are right here and you set up Phantom and they roll preemptively, down tilt will cover it. Also, down tilt is a non-committal move. So if you down tilt and they didn't roll, the Phantom's going to go off. And then now you can watch how they react to the Phantom, and then you can punish accordingly. Because you went right here, it's like I think you wanted to possibly hit them earlier, like you sort of forgot, but they have this double jump. And the reason they did double jump up B was literally to get right over your range. And so now you're in a bad position and you're scared. So you're at high percent. So what do? You roll. So you're cornering yourself, which is, I understand, but that's what's happening here. You're cornering yourself. Let's see. Sorry. This music. So you cornered yourself here, and then you dive for it. So you have this amazing little advantage state here. Love that for you. Just you charge Phantom too close to the ledge. So when we're Zelda, we want to be right in Phantom's range. And the perfect way to know that you're charging Phantom in the right range is that when Phantom finishes swinging, his back boots will touch the edge here. He will be hanging off the ledge, but his back boot will be right here. That means that you started Phantom probably about right here, and this is where you need to be, because if they get up attack, if they roll, if they jump, you're right here. If they jump over you, dash back. Don't try to jump and up air them. You can if you're super confident, but it's better for you to just default back to center. If you dashed back and they got up, you can dash right back in, and they still have to get past you. So that's how we want to be playing when our opponent is at the ledge. But right here, we have that nice little advantage state. Yeah, I think I went a little too far forward. Yeah, I did. Yeah, then we got smacked. Killed them there. See, like right there, that's a perfect example of what I'm trying to talk about. Jump back, charge Phantom. They're fucking scared. They jump. You just jump straight up, and you've drifted back. You defaulted back to center. So now you're still in a good position. You set up your Phantom, and then it's like you're sort of backing off a little bit more than you need to. You don't need to go to this platform. It's okay that you did, but like you could have just like moved with the Phantom. You got the kick, so it's like you were more so specifically calling out what he was doing, which is fine. Right here, down throw, and that's where you lost it. So just forward throw him there. And let's see, grab the ledge here. Let go of the ledge. Defaulted back to center, good. You backed off a little too much. Got this amazing little advantage state. Charged too close. We're in the corner, we're scared, so we jump. Got killed. Jumping from the corner is just is very expected. Very expected, and it's a lot easier to cover than you think. So we're just going to finish out this match because there's so much to go over just from one game. Good up tilt, staying in center, covering that side of the stage, good. Keeping ourselves available. Kind of threw ourselves into the corner there, but that's okay. Nice Phantom. Good displacement. So I think we backed off a little too much, but I do like that play there because right here, you were doing what Ven does a lot more, which is technically how you're supposed to play Zelda, is that you're trying to cover what they do in response to it. But like, technically, I would have either have liked you just full hopping and then fast falling in place, because this bear was like, it's like it wasn't probably going to hit. It was like a huge call out. It's like, I know you expected him to go past you, possibly, but like, you know, he's not going to try to take center from you with being in like disadvantage like this. Like, that's why he's, you know, technically a very smart, he's like a smarter player than your average player. So he's calmly, you know, assessing the situation. You're calling him out, covering that option. He jumps, set up Phantom there. Great grab, up throw for the kill. Fantastic. And then right here, I know I do this a lot myself. And I know we're trying to like wear down their invulnerability, but like you took damage for it. So like I would rather you just stay in center and just shield, because the worst thing that Yoshi can do is grab you, and I'm pretty sure Yoshi doesn't have like very good grab combos. So like it's better in this situation for you to just like sit here and you can just shield. Or if you want, you can shield, like you can stand on a platform and you can shield, because the reason that this is good is because they have to land on the platform to grab you. So if they're coming down from the Angel Plat and you're standing right here, they have to land. And so if they come towards you, you know that you can't be grabbed yet. So you have the option to just fall directly beneath that platform. So now they land on the platform and now they're above you. So this is a very good thing to do, is shielding on this platform when people are coming at you from the Angel Plat. So instead of doing that and like taking damage and like trying to stall this way, that would be much better for you to do overall. So like you could write that down off to the side. Like when my opponent dies, you know, I'm going to stand on the platform and shield. Another good thing is, of course, Zelda can up B out of shield. And on a stage like this, I don't know if you know this, but when Zelda teleports in the air, when she reappears, if she lands while she's midair, she only has 29 frames of end lag. If she teleports and she appears on the ground, she has 39 frames of end lag. So it can be pretty good as a mix to teleport from one platform to another, because Zelda will always, if you teleport straight across, Zelda will always appear in the air first and then land, so you'll have less lag. So it's like it's a good. You don't have to fast fall it, no, because it's like, since you're teleporting straight across, you appear like above one frame above the landing. It's only going to take you one frame to like land. So like you don't have to fast fall it or anything. Okay, good. I like that. Great nair. So now we're in disadvantage. Okay, we're in disadvantage. We get this hit. So what should you have done here? You have advantage. You're in the... Huh? Yeah, so since you're in advantage, what would you be actively doing with your advantage state by doing that? You would be resetting... You'd be resetting neutral. You're using advantage to reset your neutral, because you are recognizing, oh shit, I'm in the corner. I would rather, instead of trying to hit him back, I'd rather take this opportunity to get the fuck out of the corner. But instead, you jump up and you try to hit him. See? And you get hit for it. If you had just went back to center, you could have avoided all of that. Right here, you're in disadvantage, and now you're like, fuck, and you're getting impatient. So you're in disadvantage, and you're trying to skip. You're trying to go to advantage, so what are you skipping? If you're in disadvantage, and you're trying to...
I'm skipping neutral.
Correct. 100%. Perfect. You're right here, you throw out this kick, and you miss. Because look at his fucking up tilt. He's a gross fucking lizard. Like, he's fucking, like, sucking the floor's dick. He's able to just, like, duck down and completely dodge whatever you're doing. That's why up tilt's really good, because it's like Pyra up smash. They, like, duck down before they do it. So, because this is twice now that you've been in advantage, and instead of using you're in advantage, and you're not resetting to neutral. And then in disadvantage, you're not resetting to neutral. So it seems like one of your main issues is that you have times where you do, but it's like we need that as a default, which is why I had you write down default to neutral, from disadvantage, from advantage, whatever. And then if you constantly are like, if you're in advantage and you constantly are like taking stage with it, it gives your opponent this false sense of like, oh, okay, well, at least they're not hitting me. And then that's when you can mix up and like you can up tilt someone and then throw out a fair, and they don't expect it because they thought you were going to go back to center. That's why, like, The follow-up options are like the mix-up, right? So like this fair here would have been a mix-up if you had constantly been going back to center, because they would have thought they had more time, and they probably wouldn't have tried to retaliate and hit you back if they thought you were going to center, because they know if you were going to center, they wouldn't have hit you. So they wouldn't have done that. They only did that because they knew that you were going to try to hit them. The only reason they knew that you're going to try to hit them is because every time you hit them, you try to hit them again. Skip the ledge, and then we didn't roll. I mean, that's kind of what seals the deal here. So if you're trying to grab the ledge from above, right here, like you're scared, you're pressured, whatever. He's coming out at you because he's trying to make you do an option. Just Nehru's. You can just Nehru's right here. You could have even like when he like comes out at you right here and he hits you up, just Nehru's right here. You're stalling. You're stalling. You're throwing off his timing, right? Like if you had Nehru's here, you'd been slightly above him, and so he's not going to be able. He has no double jump. He's not going to be able to. Well, he has double jump, but he's not going to be able to like really follow up. So right here, this is where we fucked up. Just fall. If you have trouble grabbing the ledge like at an angle like this, which is probably, I imagine that's what you wanted to do. I don't imagine you were trying to hit him, or you were just scared and you didn't want to get hit. Just fall low. You could even fast fall here. You're in tumble, so it's like it's hard to fast fall. So like that's why like Nehru's up here would have been good, because then you could fast fall after this, and then you could just like double jump, grab ledge from beneath, and you would have been in a ledge trapping situation. So right here, this is a very tried and true practice. A lot of players do this. They will jab you and then they will do something else, because the jab makes you, as soon as you get hit, you're holding shield, like you are buffering it. So now your shield gets hit again and you're like, oh fuck. So right here, you can literally just roll. I would even think, and I'll have to test this because I've never thought about it really until now, but I bet you Zelda could probably just up smash out of shield and punish him for this. I just don't know for sure, because if we look at Zelda's up smash, I'm just wondering about this myself. If we look at Zelda's up smash here, it's fucking huge, and it's a little disjointed. So I guarantee that you would probably, you might trade, you might not. I don't know. I'd have to take a look. You might be able to even drop shield up tilt. So I'm gonna actually lab this later, and I'll get back to you on that, because I know that you're gonna play this player again because they're like 5th in your region. So I'll get back to you on that. But right here, the best rule of thumb is to just roll. The other thing is that when you roll here, you see how he's got those stars.
Yeah.
So these are projectiles. So you can reflect these. Number one. Number two, if you rolled here, don't try to punish him, because I promise you, if you roll and then you try to like dash attack, that's what the star does. It prevents you from hitting him, so it makes this safe. So if you were to roll, you just dash back and take center, because he has all that end lag before he can do something else. And of course, you know, we don't, yeah, like we know what happens here. So so I appreciate you you know, committing to, you know, excellence and staying a little bit longer, and you know, being on here. I appreciate that very much, because I want to make sure that you get the most bang for your buck, and that you get as much out of these coaching sessions as possible. So I want to make sure that today you were able to get what you were looking for, at least from, you know, a session with me, is that you were able to get some new information that you didn't have before, that you feel like you'll be able to keep in mind, possibly implement right away. So I'm going to ask you, what are 2 things that you feel that you have learned today after this session?
Frame data.
Okay, be specific.
Sure.
What about the frame data? Okay.
5.
Okay.
I mean, I did those things. So, it's,
Right.
What else? I have center is definitely something you do a lot.
Okay.
Don't corner yourself.
Right.
Guess with non-committal options.
Right.
B is never safe in this stage.
Right.
Fucking easy and lazy.
Yep.
Double jump, fast fall, dodge.
Yep.
Not
Right. You can directional air dodge off stage, but yeah.
Right, just kind of get away.
Right. Yeah. Right.
Neutral versus until no fast forward. And how do I reset? Not skip. Not, not be.
Right. Yeah. The only time you can afford to be committal is in. What's the only time that you can afford to be committal? Yeah. What's the only state of the game? Correct. When you're in advantage, because you have frames to work with, because your opponent is in hit stun. I think a lot of people think that their advantage state is like only when they hit someone, and it's in a sense, it's like it's good to think that way. But like advantage can be stage positioning and stage control. Like the last thing I want you to write down for today is that, and I want you to always keep this in mind, is that you can punish someone by taking stage. So when you charge Phantom and you're in the corner and your opponent just doesn't approach you, you can punish them by taking stage. You don't have to hit them to punish them. Now that you're in center stage, you have a better position to react to whatever they do. If they don't approach you, charge another Phantom. If they do approach you, dash back or dash in. Get underneath them. If they try to land on you, up tilt. So what you're going to do now is, you said that I'm sure you have locals that you go to. You just go to one per week or what?
Two. It's two the most.
Okay.
Two.
So what I want you to do is when you are at, I want you to try to go a little earlier than you normally do. I want you to try to play friendlies. Okay, I want you to try to play friendlies with people. And when you play friendlies this week, I want you to pick out one thing, just one of the several things that we wrote down, just one. And you're going to keep that in mind while you play friendlies. So like default to center is a great one. I don't care if you have to tell yourself that over and over and over in the back of your head while you are playing.
Literally, that's
yes, that's what you got to do. Then when you play against another player, when you play against a different player, pick a different thing on the list. Okay, like okay, don't corner myself, don't corner myself, don't corner myself. All right, shit. Okay, I'm in the corner. Don't corner myself. Don't stay here. I need to get out of the corner. I gotta get out of here safely. I gotta reset neutral. Okay, so don't stay in the corner. Like you gotta keep those things in your head, and I promise you, you will figure out what to do. And even if you fucking die and you get punished, then that's where you go back even further when you look at those videos later, if you can save them. If not, it's fine. But that's where we have to be like, okay, well, what put me in the corner in the first place? Because if like I died trying to get out of the corner following the correct fundamental rules, I fucked up somewhere because I'm in the corner. So anyway, so I think that the last thing I want you to do is, what's one thing that you want to pick from today that's made you realize you really need to still work on? Like what stands out to you the most?
one thing that probably stands out is the fact that I don't get aggressive or picky. Want to like kill, like
Or you panic.
And I take it, or I can, or you're hitting you. In
right.
reality, I should.
Exactly. Have you ever watched somebody play or watched two players play and one person misses an F smash and that other player tries to F smash them back? I swear to God, you will see that if you look for it. It's because it's literally like someone tries to, like in real life, if someone threw a punch at you, you'd probably want to throw a punch back at them. But it's the person who's either going to run away, get in the car and leave, that's probably going to live to see the next day. So that's where we have to shift our thinking towards. So I'm glad that you answered those questions for me. I think that will give you more insight when you are practicing in friendlies. But I want to make sure before I end the session for today that we do a couple of things. So the first thing is that I want to make sure that we get your next session set up and scheduled. Does this time work for you every week? Are you usually good on Sundays? I think you said Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. So do Sundays usually, like, would you prefer that?
Um, probably
Probably Tuesdays. Okay.
a Sunday or a Tuesday. Always like I'm literally gonna go to my
Okay, fantastic.
it's 6:30. So like if it's we just kind of do a session really local and get me ready.
If you would prefer that, that's totally fine with me. So what we can do is we can go ahead and just keep this same time slot if you'd prefer 4 p.m. on Sundays. If that way it gives you a little time afterwards to sort of absorb the information and then gives you time to get to your local. So what I will do is, one second here.
Would it be better for like
Technically, yes. When you yeah, so when you buy 2 or more sessions at a time, you do save I believe it's 20% off. So what's nice is you can buy as many sessions as you want at a time, and then you can redeem those later. I will tell you this though. I will, yeah. So if you want to, I would do that. I will tell you this though. I would only buy I would only buy I would only do one more for now. And here's the reason. Like, I plan on meeting with you every week, of course. But I would just get one more, because usually what they do, what Riptide, or not Riptide, what Medify does is, like, right before a super major, they usually offer some kind of like discount. So if for some reason they didn't offer the discount, you'd still have the discount of buying in bulk regardless. But they usually do 30% off, and it's for one day, and they just do it like the whole like day, or even sometimes for the whole weekend. And it's usually like supposed to be right before a attorney or something like that. So I know September 8th, 9th, and 10th, or sorry, 9th, 10th, and 11th is Riptide. So that's a major coming up. So you could potentially save 30% off of sessions, which would be the most that you can save. And I wouldn't want you to miss out on that. And what's really nice is that, when you buy those sessions for that discount, I don't lose any profit. Medify foots the bill. So, if I can help you save money, I want to be able to do that. So I would just do one more. I would schedule it for the 4th at 4 p.m. And if you can do that possibly before you leave for your local, that will give me the ability to approve the time slot, so none of my other students have the opportunity to book it, or a potential new student wouldn't have the opportunity to book that session. So I'd go ahead and get that done. But other than that, any questions at all?
I don't really want to.
Okay, awesome. Cool. Well, Chef, I hope that you enjoyed the session today. I hope that you felt it was worth it, and that you enjoyed learning different aspects of some things that you hadn't really considered before, or just plainly didn't know about. But that's what I'm here for. So if there's nothing else that I can do for you, I do thank you for being a student of the game, and for allowing me to help you out in trying to help you become a better player. And I wish you the best of luck at your local, and be kind to yourself when you go. You're not going to be able to implement everything that we went over today in just 5 minutes. So just pick one thing, and just be kind to yourself. If you lose, just try to ask yourself, okay, what went wrong? What rule did I break? Whatever sticks out to you. And, other than that, I will see you next week.
Really appreciate it so much.
Of course. Yeah, no problem, Chef. Take it easy. Have a good day, and good luck. Thanks. Bye. Okay, y'all. Well, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate y'all hanging out and checking out the stream. Hopefully you guys learned something, or, if you didn't learn anything, which I'm sure I'm sure you learned something, then I hope you at least enjoyed my gorgeous good looks. So I will talk to you guys later. I am going to be streaming again tomorrow. I'll be doing bamboo battles this week. And so yeah, that's going to be tomorrow at 6 p.m. I will be doing some like one Medify session at 3 p.m. tomorrow. We'll be doing that from 3 to 5, and then from 6 until whenever we'll be streaming the bamboo battles bracket. So take it easy. And I will see you guys around. Have a good rest of your day. Bye.